That was different. So, welcome to Here Be Dragons. New fun technical challenges every week. Our intro video is now silent and a fully blank screen.
Hey.
It's high def. It's in 1080p. You didn't see it. You didn't hear it.
I mean,
you must not have a high enough quality TV set.
But did you see that black screen?
If they really miss it, I could sing it and you could act it out.
La 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 la.
Or he's gonna do it all.
Cool.
Wow.
So, welcome to our special Here Be Dragons show. We do have a wonderful, fresh-faced cast ready to go, ready to take out the Dungeon Master today. Across the couch, we have Esther, Lindsay. Why am I blanking? Sarah. I wanted to call you completely someone else. I saw you. I was like, I know her. Nope, that's someone else. Sarah and Marissa. I was picturing someone I went to school with. Sorry, Sarah. I would have called you Abby.
Which was a long time ago, so I'm pretty sad that he was.
When my memory works, it just sparks to random things back in the past.
You could have said it, and then everybody would have thought, "What's that name tag for?"
No,
Wait a second.
I could have called you Sarah, and Sarah, and everyone would have saw the name tags and been like, "Yeah, whatever. I don't care. I don't care."
One of these is right.
Might not even be right. Cool. So we have a fun cast here on an off week. Before we dive into sponsors and kicking this off, I want to let everyone know that normally we're on the first and third Saturdays of the month. This coming month, we're on the 2nd and 4th. So I believe the 14th is our next time back.
Correct. March 14th.
Mark your calendars 2 weeks from today.
The 7th.
Not a week from.
Boy, leap year changes everything.
Leap year does change everything.
I'm
Everything is
not
off.
sure it had anything to do with leap year. I think it was just half of our cast was gone.
But it is leap year.
It is leap year.
Today. We're playing on the one day of the year that doesn't exist most of the time. So this game is going to be awesome.
That's why it's a one
Plus
shot.
it's an all-girl cast.
It's all encapsulated
It's an
in this
all-girl cast, plus...
Hey.
We do have a few sponsors. You'll see them scattered across our set here. And then, let's see if I can do this right. That way.
What?
Yeah,
there we
right.
go. Cool. For the first time ever in the year-long run that we've had Here Be Dragons, we do have Caffeinated Cobalt, which Lindsay is wearing a shirt here. And we got kobolds all over the stream today. See if you can find them in every screen. We do have Blacksmith Craft Dice, which are some really, really amazing metal dice that all the players are rolling with. Check them out on Amazon. They are coming out with new colors all the time. They're fairly inexpensive, but they're incredible to roll. And did you just get a nat 20?
No.
Oh.
I wish. I got a 15.
Like,
no, 13.
Like,
you should just lied.
You wasted it. No. And then Critical Treasures is our third. She's from the UK, and there's a dice bag sitting over by Esther. There's dice bags and pins and lots of gifts that she makes, all nerdy and fun, handcrafted, really, really cool. I'll give you a warning. If you're trying to get it for a gift, get it well in advance because she goes on wait lists all the time.
Because they're made to order.
They're made to order.
They're customized. So.
Super custom, super awesome. Take a look. Links below on our Twitch. If you're listening on podcast, go to herebedragonsdnd.com. There's links out there. And yes, we do have a podcast. We convert this sometime midweek. So if you missed it, you get to listen to our wonderful storytelling and laughter and don't get to see all the odd jokes that are visual here. Jared just did some visual things that you podcasters didn't see. With that, I think that puts us back to our main screen here. Thank you for joining me today on this wonderful, wonderful, awesome, fun time. And like I said, there's kobolds invading our stream. For those of you who are tuning in, it's an all ladies, all kobold cast. So, to kick us off, I did post a few things in our Discord. So those of you who are in our Discord, you got to see some of the letters that went to the players throughout the week to give them a little heads up on what their heist is. I will give you a little intro as to what they'd gotten. Greetings, adventurer. I am writing in hopes that this finds you well and that you are up for a daring task. My employer seeks to obtain an artifact of great power, the Stormbringer's amulet. Your prowess and abilities are well known. However, you won't be alone. I've recruited others of your nature to assist in the retrieval. The artifact we seek lies within a tower called the Keep of Mysteries and Antiquities, at the heart of the port city, Luna Pier. You must extract the artifact and bring it to me for a reward of 20,000 gold pieces. I'll be waiting 4 days from now, which is today, in a small fishing village 30 miles north of Luna Pier. In order to ensure your success, I've sent a scouting party to map out the main passages of the city and give you anything for aid. You may take the sea, land, or air if you know how to reach me. That is up to you. If you need to pass a bribe or convince anyone in the city for assistance, please write back with this quill of sending I've sent you. Otherwise, I will direct the scouts to carry out the deeds. Each scout is assigned with 500 gold for each of you individually to buy items, passage, and bribes on your behalf. The remainder of the gold and a small cache of items will be for you when you come to the city. A map should arrive shortly once they've finished their exploration. Best of luck, Sir X. So, the kobolds had received this, and they were only a few days' travel from Luna Pier. On their travels in, they did receive a map, which is in our Discord. You can go see in the general channel if you want to keep up. The players have it in front of them. And there's some little red markings that printed grayscale, sorry.
I was like, what? Where?
There's red markings on the digital map, but you might have to look a little close or pull out your device if you need to look at it.
Yeah.
The red markings are things that the scouts have noted for you in their travels.
Oh, right, okay.
So, in order to TV time this up, you've all traveled into the city. As you've entered the gates from different directions, each of you has noticed that there's guards throughout the city. The town is bustling about. It's mid-afternoon. You find the city center where you see a very tall building that looks heavily guarded. A couple guards out front and a couple pacing around the outside. And as you look at the map in front of you, you realize that that might be what you need to get to later. But you're only a couple blocks away from this cache that was spoken of in the letter. And coincidentally, you all end up showing within a couple minutes of one another, looking around, trying to find what this doorway or passageway is that's marked on the map. And you catch sight of one another out of the corner of your eyes, maybe seeing that those could be your comrades. There could be competition, you're not sure yet. And out of a small doorway in an old beat-up home, roughly where your little red X is that you need to meet, a goblin pops out, looks around, and motions inside, and a few other goblins go running out behind him, and he catches sight of each of you and just kind of waves and points back at the door, and they disperse into the city. It's not the first goblin you've seen in the city, but you've seen other goblins and a few kobolds, but they're more of like servant stature. A few of them were polishing shoes, a few were sweeping front porches of some of the shops, and a couple were actually just kind of running errands with large packages much bigger than themselves throughout the city. So it's not an uncommon sight, but you know, the shadiness right then and there seems to be a little telling. Now, players, it's up to you. What do you do? Catching sight of one another and seeing these goblins skirt out a door.
I go inside.
You go inside. The rest of you, do you stay outside? Do you take a moment? Do you follow the first kobold in the doors?
I'll follow in the door.
I'll go as well.
Alright, as you all start to sneak up, it looks like one's hanging back a little bit for now. And inside, as the door slides open, it's a little bit taller than yourselves. It looks like it was a little hovel made just for the smaller statured creatures. You see a little wooden table, a few bags set out, 4 to be precise. Each of them a little burlap bag, and there's a note sitting on top. In front of that, there's a even smaller little pedestal that's got a note that says, "Crew," and a couple small, brightly colored bags sitting next to it. Lindsay, I believe the biggest of those says "Crew."
Okay, do that one first.
Do that one first. There's a couple items in there, and because Larissa was the first in the door, if you'd like to grab the note, you may. Read it out loud.
Oh,
you dropped the items! Holy crap! Items down. There's another card just under Sarah. It is.
I wasn't expecting.
All good. All good. Feel free to
Okay, cool.
read it out as
Just two in there?
just 2 items. Yep.
Okay, cool. Crew. My goblin troop has spent a couple days trying to secure you items, intel, and escape. I hope that we have done enough. Please be careful in the heist, and may you all gain great riches. If you need assistance in your escape, some of the scouts have prepared non-standard forms of transport. I have secured 4 fluffy mini mares and hitched them at the front gate to the west in case you need them. Mascarpone. And the 2, I don't know what did I pronounce that right? I don't know.
Mascarpone.
It's a type of cheese that's used in things like tiramisu.
Okay, I'm like never ever seen it before.
And then right behind that note, there's 2 brightly colored bags, an orange one and a blue one.
They're both labeled table pocket dimension.
Tangled pocket dimension bags.
Do I read?
You may. There's a little note that sits next to each of them. That's why you know what these items do.
I like
That
the
note.
bottom one.
That note says...
A brightly colored pouch that looks like it could contain about 3 to 4 handfuls of small items. When the 2 bags are within 100 feet of one another, they share the same pocket dimension of containment. When they are separate, one will randomly keep the link, and the other will be magically unable to open. Items may be exchanged with or without force through the pocket dimension if both ends are open at the same time. No light or sound passes through. The cake is a lie.
Both of them are the same item there, so you've got 2 interesting little bags.
Okay.
And as the rest of you start filtering in, hearing the first kobold read out the message, you do notice on top of each of the satchels there is a note reading your name. And each satchel is fairly small, looking like it's got an item for you.
Did you come inside?
No, I'm still hanging by the door.
You're still hanging by the door. Okay, your item is waiting for you when you step in.
Yeah.
We all just open.
I wait to see how
Yeah?
everyone responds to their items first before I enter in.
Most of the notes I will paraphrase if there's anything you want to add, because some of your scouts did something different. These are letters from the scouts assigned to each of you, and they let you know what they've done in the city, and you're probably putting two and two together. It was the little goblins that had just run out. These little guys had secured something for you, and then left a little bit of gold behind, as well as an item.
Seeing the gold, I venture in.
All right.
Ooh.
Anything fun and interesting as you're all understanding this heist?
I have an Insta climber.
Sorry, I like the name of my item.
What is it called?
They're grippy grabby arrows. Okay, I don't know if we're supposed to read these out loud or not, but
You may read whatever
This
you
is
want
great.
of these. These are all unique items that have been either procured or created for your heist. So
this is so cool. Okay. Sorry, everybody. This is a reading stream.
It's a reading stream. At the gentle breezes blow.
Reading
I have
simulation.
pet rocks.
You have pet rocks?
Ooh.
You have to name them.
They came with names.
They
Oh
came
my
with
god,
names.
that's amazing.
Their name
Steve and
tag.
Dwayne.
Oh.
Guys, I don't have just a mage hand. I have a remote control mage hand. But also the potential of bludgeoning anyone nearby if failure to grab anything.
Oh my
gosh.
gosh.
I might have a concussion at the end of this.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
I'm gonna put Steve and Dwayne into my pack, but
Okay.
I'm gonna make sure that their pack is separate than another set of stones that I have.
Okay,
'Cause I
perfect.
don't want them to.
Perfect.
If I pull the strap on this, I can make it into a wooden ladder. And then I must say, Sir Lanky Ladder, you are relieved in order for it to retract.
The fighter has gained a shield that can turn into a ladder.
Which is awesome.
That's pretty cool.
The ranger has gotten arrows that can grab onto things.
They have little grippy hands where the arrows should be. They're just like. Choo.
We have some pet rocks with some unspoken abilities at the moment, and then a magically controlled mage hand that when you mess up, it punches people apparently.
Yes, very dangerous.
All necessary things for your heist. There's no more letters, but as you all went over what your original letter had said, the gold pops up in your mind. 20,000 gold.
Is that each?
There's 20,000 gold.
But was it each?
No, it didn't say each. There's 20,000 gold for bringing an amulet back. You do have a map. And this is your time. Do you want to play around with your gadgets? Do you want to take on the city? What would you like to do?
I don't know what I want to do.
I do want to play around with mine, actually. I want to test the ladder.
Perfect.
Are there rafters in this building?
Yeah, it looks like the doorway was of a 2.5 foot height, but it does look like it's a 10 or 12 foot ceiling. It has some rafters up in it.
Okay. I'd like to take my ladder out and test it.
Perfect. So by laying the shield face down, it
So
sits
I lay it down, and then I pull the strap on it.
Yep, and a ladder just comes up just a little bit that you're able to pull up to 20 feet tall. So you can stop wherever you want and lean it up, and that's how tall your ladder will be.
And then I'm going to go up to the rafter, kind of walk around a little bit, and then come back down.
So you go up to the rafter, you find that it's dusty up there, there's no extra notes. There is a dead bird in the corner.
No one can reach up there.
No one can reach up there. It looks like there's a few arrows that had been stuck up as someone had shot into the ceiling just practicing and had never gotten them down, but otherwise, that's about it.
Can I fly up and get those?
Sure, you can fly up and get those. We do have a kobold with wings here.
I do. I am the only kobold with wings here.
Yeah.
So I watch her go up the ladder and I go, ooh, there's arrows up there.
You're able to pull 2 intact arrows out of the ceiling.
Cool. I'm gonna add those.
There you go. Anyone else want to try anything with their new toys before hatching a plan?
I skeptically look at my remote control mage hand and I shove it into the very bottom of my pack because I'm a little bit hesitant to activate it anytime soon.
All right,
No
Sir
way,
Lanky
nice.
Ladder, you are relieved.
As you climb down and hop off and you say the magical words, the ladder sits upright, sinks back down into the shield, and then it just sits there and hovers like it did before you pulled the ladder out.
See, why couldn't I gotten that? That would be so helpful.
I'll take yours.
You want to switch?
No?
No.
All right then.
No, she'll just take yours.
Listen, fight me.
Oh.
Okay.
Not
So-
really. I mean,
I was
we're here for the amulet, right? The goal. That's our main goal. I don't think I can take on a fighter.
Do one of you want to take one of these little pocket dimension bags?
Sure.
No point in me having both of them.
What do they do?
So, when the 2 bags are in 100 feet of one another, they share the same pocket dimension of containment. When they are separate, one will randomly keep the link, and the other will be magically unable to open.
How do we test which one has the link?
I don't. It says randomly, so you'll just
So
try
maybe
to
it'll
open
change
it.
every time? Are you sure you want to do that?
Do what?
Separate them.
Well,
Well, it makes sense if we're stealing something, then we can put it in the one,
Hopefully
and
we
then
can get it
if
out
we
the
can
other.
separate it.
hopefully the
But
one.
when we come back together later,
If
Yeah.
we come back later.
Look, none of you better die, alright? Or do, I don't care.
I'm
More
not
money
gonna
for
die.
me. Alright, so I guess we're a team today.
Sure.
I mean, that's the rules of the letter. That's all I'm saying.
is said crew, not team.
Whatever. Take your crew. What time is it?
It's about 4:30 in the afternoon.
All right. So,
And how much time do we have for this?
not long, I'd imagine. There's some big shindig happening tonight. Should we do it during
Do we
that?
know what time the party starts?
There's no time mentioned.
No.
Nothing in the letter, nothing in your notes from the spies. They just had said there was something going on this evening.
Yeah, that's right.
Listen, that's the best time to strike. If we're gonna get this thing in and out of here, we've got to do it when there's a lot of people in the city. So, what's the plan?
I mean, if it were just me, I'd go in from the air and just get it from there. But you know, assuming we all have to do this together, there's probably going to be stuff in there that not just one of us can take out.
I mean,
It's just an amulet.
how big can it really be?
I'm
Right?
talking about the amulet. If it's that special, there's stuff guarding it.
It's true.
You're not wrong.
Maybe we should go check out the guards. See how
Alright.
many there are. Watch.
Well, there's
Well,
3 outside, 1 loops, the other
and
stays at
you
the
have to
door.
Stay at the door.
Yeah. Should we just go for that?
Well, we should go see the keep and
Just walk around for a bit
see what it
for ourselves?
Case it.
Alright, I'm down.
Gonna go case the joint, huh?
Well, we gotta
Yes.
see what we're dealing with, not just a square on a map.
It is a square on a map, that's all it is. You get there and it's a giant square.
Ugh.
But like,
Yeah.
how tall of
Yeah,
a
how
giant
tall
square?
is it?
It's very square-like. So it's just as tall as it is wide.
So how wide is it?
Cool. So if you're all making your way towards, you do see a bit of motion throughout the town. There's only a handful of people dressed up as if they're going to a shindig, and a few of them are heading towards the keep, the direction that you're all headed. The keep is lit up nicely around the front as there's sort of a greeting party, a little bit of a red carpet rolled out, only a few feet in the front of the door. The 2 guards standing there dressed in best uniform, greeting people and letting them in as they seem to have a list of attendants. There's another guard that keeps a slow walk around the keep, and as you stand and watch and you take a look, it takes him about 4 or 5, maybe 6 minutes to get around. So he's either dawdling or it's a pretty big walk around this thing. It stands, as you can see, looking way up at it, about 60 feet tall at the tallest point. But most of the building is about 20-30 feet tall around the front. You do see at one ledge on the far side of where the tower is at, a few partygoers having drinks and looking out over the city, and you hear some laughter and some music coming from up above. Other than that, you don't seem to notice too much, other than a few food carts making their way up to the side of the keep. So if you go around, if you're looking at the front off to the right side, a few food carts make it up, and you see one eventually roll back out empty. So there may be something happening with kitchens off to one side.
Are there any windows below 20 feet?
Below 20 feet, there's a couple barred windows at the front, big stained glass windows, so nothing you can see through. Off to the sides, there's just a few small slits that seem to be mostly for letting in a little bit of light. It does seem that there's more of a wall structure and potentially like a little bit of an inner garden or grassy patch. Nothing too large, like a big front lawn, but just a small surrounding of the main building inside the grounds.
And how close are the buildings surrounding this building?
This one's sitting almost out on its own as it's looking into the square. There's a couple buildings about 30 feet from it on a side road if you go from the front side back around to the left.
And this is the keep, right?
Yeah.
And this is supposedly where the amulet is?
This is supposedly where the amulet is, according to all of the markings your scouts have given you.
Okay.
Are the guests using anything to get inside? Is there an invitation, perhaps?
Looks like they're good looks. They walk up and they say, "Hi, how are you?" Have a brief engagement with the guards and then step in. The guards do kind of look at others who aren't as well dressed and kind of keep an eye on them as if they're trying to keep gatecrashers out.
I'm going to say, oh great PG Nightshade, allow me to detect magic and cast detect magic.
You just called on. Okay.
I had to.
You had to call on your wonderful unicorn. PG Nightshade. You want to use detect magic, so you cast detect magic at will. You don't see many traces of magic on the building, but you do see like bright bursts of various colors twirling out of some of the windows up the spiral to the keep. You do recognize that as all sorts of magical items and practices could have been happening in the tower. You do notice there's some faint traces of color on a few of the patrons that are going in, as if they either had something magical in their pocket or are a magic user themselves. But the building itself doesn't seem enchanted or under any spells at the moment.
So there's like a guard on like each side of the door?
Yeah, there's two guards at the front of the door. It's a big archway. It looks like it would have been two big wooden doors that they opened in. Red carpet rolled out a few feet into the walk, and then back up into the stairwell to get into the main building.
Are the doors just open?
The doors are open. The guards are standing there, greeting people as they come through.
How big is the door?
The door is probably about 6-7 feet wide.
Okay.
As it's two larger doors that had swung shut into the archway.
Okay.
Oh no.
Didn't you say the guards had like a list?
They had like one of them seems to have a sheet or a list, but most of the people walk up and just say hi and walk in almost too quickly to like find them on a list.
Okay. Maybe we should try just walking in. What are they gonna do? Like kick us to the curb? Tell us no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's worst case scenario, so I think we should at least try.
We can just do it with a food cart, though. Go in the back.
I mean,
The side, whatever it is.
we could.
It might be best if we split up.
Split the party.
Dun dun dun. You mean split up and try to get in different ways?
Yeah. I mean, if in the worst case scenario, they boot you out the front door, we still have an in.
True.
4, 2.
We can find a way to make this work.
How do we know that the other half did or did not make it in?
We don't.
If we stick by the door and wait on the guard's rotation when they're the furthest away from the kitchens, we can pass something through the pocket dimension.
But the two only stay there.
But we
And
can't.
only the one.
No, towards the kitchen. So if you're by the kitchen and two of us get in, we can... Listen, guys, I'm not a planner. I'm just trying my best.
I'm picturing a kobold trying to jam one of these little bags over its head to squeeze itself through, just like, come on.
No, we pass a note through the pocket dimension to let the other team know. Oh,
But we don't know which one will open and which one won't.
Yeah.
And if we can open one, we can't open
Well,
the other.
if
Yeah.
they'll... I
as
think
long as
they're...
we're within 100 feet.
Yeah, I think they're both open within 100 feet.
Which, that's not that much distance, though.
Okay.
A good
Oh, you
brick
know
wall
what?
is
I could
the
cast
minimum.
Fog Cloud on the front door and we could just walk in.
Listen,
I mean...
I have an idea.
we'll be in before they figure out what's
I'm
going
not
on.
fine with that.
So you guys,
I hear it's
could-
worked in other situations similar.
you guys can dress up as servers and go in through the back. I put on my fine clothes and try going in through the front.
I kind of just like the fog cloud. Work smarter, not harder, right?
Yeah, man. I mean... Do you wanna?
I mean, even if it doesn't work, it's not like they'll see us.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, we'll
at
be
least we
in
won't know
before.
who to watch for moving forward.
Just gotta. Not.
It's less
Alright,
work
cool.
than the food cart.
But I have uniforms, but I only have 3 of them.
Let's try the easier one first.
Okay.
Alright. Idea though. What if. what if you 3 dress up? You got uniforms. 3 dress up. Still fog cloud, front door, but then once we're in there, nobody will question.
Yeah. That makes sense. That makes sense.
What about you?
Eh.
I mean, do you have some
dress
like
up,
really nice clothes with you?
I have some fur I can throw on. That's fancy, right?
No.
You're a rogue. Why don't you just go invisible or something?
I'm not that kind of rogue.
That's profiling.
As you're all talking and scheming, another little kobold walks up and he's rolling a small cart of fruits. Can you guys tell me where the kitchen entrance is? I'm supposed to be delivering these fruits and I'm late.
We'll take care of it for you.
Oh yeah, we got this.
We
No
got it.
problem.
No. The last time that happened, my coworker never returned.
I'll take you.
Okay.
You guys go on ahead through the front door.
Okay. Are you one of the guards here?
Yeah.
Okay,
that's me.
cool.
Our
Yeah.
fog cloud just walked away.
I don't know what the wink was for.
Okay, well, it's okay.
Oh, because we have
the
uniforms.
Yeah, we got the uniforms.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, we got it. Yeah.
This little kobold is like nervously looking back and forth at the shenanigans happening here.
Sorry, man. We're just running really late, and we're just all a little bit confused because
I'm
this
really
building
late
is
too.
tall.
Are you supposed to be waiting tables or serving food or something?
Yes.
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 Uh-huh.
That's
Yeah,
exactly
that's
that.
us.
All right.
Yeah.
What
I
you
guess
said.
we all go through the kitchen. Come on, let's go.
Let's
This
go.
guard's gonna help us. Let's go.
Let's go.
So he like trails behind the guard of the party.
Yep, that's me. I know what I'm doing.
As you walk around to the right side where you'd seen some of the food carts go,
Yeah.
there's a couple goblins staying there with checklists and going over and counting the food that's coming in and talking to all the other creatures that are bringing things up. There's a big burly human that comes up and sets down 2 large metal containers and opens one up, and a little bit of steam fog comes out, and you see very, very bright, beautiful pastries all set up nicely. And he goes, "We gotta get this in to keep it chilled quick." And the goblins snap their fingers, and a few people get pushed out of the way. A few little carts get shoved, and one guy with his vegetables gets tipped over, and you hear a scream, "No, not the vegetables!" And the human brings in the 2 big metal containers, leaving one goblin and a bunch of other vendors like panicking at the door. "We need to get our food in there! We need to get our food in there!" And you're kind of at the back of this mess that just happened, but there's only one goblin now taking stock of what's going on, and he's quickly like scratching things off and sending people in.
Now what kind of food's on the cart that we're guiding in?
He's got fruits and a few other little, it looks like a root vegetable, but he's got a bunch of things that look like it came from a local farm.
Okay.
Guys, we need to put on our stuff right now and squeeze in while we can while there's only one guy there.
Fine, works with me.
All right.
So, I'm gonna walk up like I own the place.
Okay.
And this cart's behind me, and say to the goblin guy, like, "We got a package of fruit we gotta get in there."
Yeah, what is it that you've got? I see fruit there, but what are you bringing in? I can only let vendors in that have food, or if you've got your name tag. Or...
I'm with the cart.
Oh, the muscle. Is it fancy fruit?
Have you seen the quality of the fruit? Of course it's fancy fruit.
All right, fancy fruit, fancy. What's
This
your
is fruit, it's hors
What's
d'oeuvres,
your
it's gotta
name?
get out now, we're late.
Oh, what's your name? And he starts shaking.
Oh my god, I don't have time for this. And I just drag the cart and walk inside. And I yell at the guy that was pushing the cart, "Give me your name, come on."
And the one kobold that is now shaking in fear kind of walks up to the goblin who's equally shaking in fear, and as you all walk in, they're both kind of like this, and You see the exchange happen so briefly that the kobold just puts his head down and walks away, and the goblin's like frantically trying to find some page, and he looks around and draws a little box and checks it off. And you could see
That worked.
visible fear going on here as like you're some of the last ones, and they were both disheveled and just done. As you make it inside, the kitchen is bustling, and you get brushed past by the big man who just dropped off all the sweets.
Mm-hmm.
The two goblins that had rushed in are carefully like peering in and counting and looking at what's in there and yelling numbers back and forth, and they're marking it down. And then the one yells a number and the other one stops. They slam the metal shut. He's trying to short us! And they just ran out after the man. So you're left in the kitchen with all sorts of different shapes and sizes of chefs and servers and waiters and back of house and front of house and food everywhere. It's a chaos contraption in here. But where you're at, it seems to just be like the loading area. All the food's coming in. You have a few chefs coming up and grabbing some stuff out of the crates. So you're in a spot to take a breather after the fiasco that just happened.
I can't believe that worked. Okay.
I can't believe you just plowed right through him.
Okay.
Well, when two creatures of similar stature, only about 3 feet tall, are staring one another down, it's just whoever's the biggest and bravest of the two works, I guess.
I did it. Okay, so are you guys dressed yet?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So I mean,
What are the uniforms that we're wearing, just to clarify?
yeah.
They're, I believe, servers.
Yeah.
Servers, okay.
So,
So we should grab a tray or something.
So I was thinking, what are some of the people around us doing? Are they like plating things, or are they still in the cooking stages?
so there's a few stations that look like they're pulling out hors d'oeuvres and putting them on trays. There's a couple stations that seem to be tossing in meats and vegetables for a larger dish. And then there's still a few more that are rifling through some of the foods that are in the staging area where you're at, finding like the best vegetable, the best fruit, and adding garnish to some of the trays that are going out. You see a door about 30 feet in that swings open and goes out into a small hall. It's dimly lit, and you can see that it's definitely like a lower key party. It's a bit quieter, no fancy music inside as you heard on the rooftop.
Okay.
Are there any carrying trays or push carts lying around?
Piles of no.
Piles.
There's a couple trays that are sitting up on the front that are still actively being plated. There's a few more trays that are sitting empty next to them. There's a few bus rags sitting on that same table, as it seems to be like the table nearest to the door is like the in and out where servers come in and swap a tray, hand in dirty dishes, get their next tray to go serve. That's up closer to the door, but everything else seems to be like cooking surfaces actively being worked on by dwarves, elves, and humans mostly.
Okay.
Would there happen to be any like spare uniforms just like laying around like for just like kitchens sometimes have like aprons hanging up or something like that? Like is there stuff like that?
Off to the side there seems to be a spot where some personal items are collected, much like a locker space, just some cubbies. In one of the cubbies you do see, it looks like some extra uniforms, some spare shirts of various sizes, some spare pants. And then there's a small pile off to the side where you can see there's some uniforms that have been spilled on, so this is their quick change spot. So yes, there is yet another serve uniform available.
Should I change?
Yeah.
Yes.
I say we grab a couple trays and kind of scout out the party. How big are these trays? Or can I put one on top of my shield?
You could. Your
Without
shield,
it being like
your shield
awkward.
is ever so slightly bigger than the trays.
okay.
But it wouldn't be uncommon if you need like an extra like leather handle to hold a bigger tray up, being a smaller creature. These trays are built more for like a human size. So
Oh, okay.
some of the kobolds you've seen had like one hand out and one hand kind of rested on their head, and they're just walking with it above them.
So
Yeah.
I change.
You change. Perfect.
I had to rip a hole in the back of the shirt so it fit over my wings.
There you go. There you go.
Can I just take a tray, kind of have it like this, so it's like my wings are kind of holding it up like a tripod?
Sure, you can.
Wings in my head, like, all right, this is gonna work.
I'm quick gonna, because I didn't do it earlier, I'm gonna grab 3 of the pebbles from my one bag and cast magic stone on them and put them back in a different part of the bag.
Okay. I will say, dealing with bags at this point, you're all probably carrying a rucksack or a larger bag. Those most likely will give you away on the floor. So if there's something smaller or necessary that you want to hide on your kobold person, then now's the time to look for that, or try and figure out a fancy way to get your bags out. But that's just a little warning. Because you notice none of the other servers have bags or anything more than either a belt or a small pouch on their side that's not part of the uniform.
There are aprons hanging?
There are aprons hanging, a few of them mostly larger than your stature, as you shouldn't need one being a server. They're more built for
I'm
the
gonna
kitchen
take
staff.
one anywhere.
Alright.
I'm gonna take it, I'm gonna wrap it around my bag and then tie it around my waist. And then I'm gonna grab a towel and put it on top of it.
So you have a big pouch hanging off to the side.
Yeah.
Alright.
And then a towel on top of it. So try
Okay.
to make it look like it blends in.
Okay.
I look around for a serving cart.
That's what I was.
And I stash my pack underneath and drape a cloth over it, and I'm gonna use that to walk around with.
There is one serving cart. It does have a very squeaky wheel, but it is usable. And
Who has the grease spell?
Who has the grease spell?
So, okay.
Can more than one bag fit in that cart, or
You
just
can
one
fit
bag?
2 bags in there if you want the entirety of a bag. But if you want to leave stuff behind, say, water skins, ropes, whatever, you can stash in the cubbies most likely. There's a few empty cubbies.
I definitely need my weapons. That's really
But I
all
heard
need.
her like squeaking it, right?
Mhm.
So I'm gonna cast mending.
Oh,
Nice.
Alright.
And then,
Does that take care of the squeaking?
That wheel is the fastest wheel on the cart.
No, it always turns to the right because the other ones are rougher.
and then, are you trying to keep your pack on you, or?
I can leave my pack behind, but I need my weapons, so I can put my weapons in the cart.
Well, if you put them in there, I can just take a few things from mine because it's not like I have that much stuff anyways.
I think I need anything.
So, I'll just take my dagger, because I don't really feel like I'll need a crossbow.
Alright.
So I'll make sure I have my dagger, and then I want to imagine. Do I have pockets?
The uniform has 2 small pockets, but you've seen a few other servers with a belt and a belt pouch on.
Okay.
It's not all of them carrying it, so it
Can I
seems
find one?
fairly fair that you can use your own belt, and if you have any pouches, you may.
Okay, because I want at least the 3 that I've already imbued. I'll put those.
Okay.
And then I'll have my pet rocks. And then, there's a few other things that are already on me. So.
Cool. I will trust whatever you want to place on the cart. So if you do start giving me shenanigans
Oh, I
later,
need to make sure I have this other pocket thing too.
Perfect.
I will take out my thieves' tools and stick it on my person.
Good.
Just in case.
Just in case.
I mean, we are doing thievery.
I probably need those tools.
So you
Just a little bit.
spend a few minutes going through bags and putting some stuff on the cart. We do have a big, large side pouch of towels now.
It's my fanny pack.
Your fanny pack of towels. And just as you're all steadying the cart up, you hear a gruff voice. We need some drink service out there. Someone get a cart.
I'm on it.
All right.
You have a card.
But you have all the towels. Just follow around in case the spills happen.
You got it.
All right. The rest of you.
I take a tray of drinks and I wobbly walk out.
But you have the card.
Put it on the cart and then
Okay.
push the cart, and I walk out.
Cool.
Yes.
So instead, I'm
And
gonna
chiffon.
like grab some plates, like small plates for my tray, and then I'll walk out behind you.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Are you two grabbing anything, or are you just kind of there for?
If there's a plate of, or like,
There's a few more trays that are actually being lined up that look mostly full at this point.
I'll just grab one of those.
Perfect.
Get those.
I'll just take my empty tray because I'll pick up the empty glasses. As
Nice.
All right. And as you're all walking out and you make it out into the first floor of the party, you do notice that there's a few quiet conversations happening. There's some light music being played by a couple stringed instruments across this room. This room is actually a very large space. It's about 50 feet wide and about 150 feet long. In it, there's a bunch of shelves, not for books per se, but for items. And you see glass cases and containers, a lot of locks. And because your detect magic is on, you see that there's a lot of protection around some of these big items. And through some of the glass, you see bright colors of various magical schools. That some of these items are very magical relics. Others have zero magic to them, but they're very ornate blades or they're very ornate tapestries. This seems to be like the main floor of the keep and its antiquities. At the front, you do see the front door where people are coming through. You do see a sign pushed off to the side that written on it says "Kids free on Tuesdays." So this does look like
This is a museum.
during the day it is more of a museum, and it is set for a formal party. There's a few empty drinks set on top of some of these cases, and you see a kobold and a goblin running through, and they're quickly cleaning the case and taking the empty and snapping their fingers for an empty tray, and one's holding one up, looking for an empty tray to put this glass on, and he points at you with the empty tray. Kitchen! Take it to the kitchen! We need you to... Fine! And he just bursts past you into the kitchen, and there's a few partygoers eyeing the cart with the drinks and the snacks that are in hand. So,
I start making a slow circle around the room, looking at the antiquities to make sure that I'm not missing this amulet. But so far, I haven't heard anything, right?
as you make your way through, there's a few people who grab a glass and set a dirty one off to the side on your cart, and you hear thanks here and there. You hear a woman go, "Oh, did they run out of the white wine? I guess I'll go with the red." And she grabs a red and puts her nose up and walks away, and you hear a few guys in the corner off by the strings. "Yeah, did you hear that they brought in these new relics? A few of them are quite dangerous." And the other guy, "Oh, those must be in the keep. I hope we get to go look at them. I mean, we have given enough stuff, haven't we?" And you continue on, and there's another conversation between a few younger men. One's just kind of looking at everything going, "Whoa, I haven't seen so many of these. My dad gave that one, but I didn't know there were so many beautiful blades here." And he's like looking up along the ceiling. You do notice that there's cases even like around the upper portions that have bright shining blades. And the friend with him, just his jaw has dropped and just staring up at all of them. But you don't hear much else other than some of those side conversations.
I'm looking around. Where are the stairs?
The stairs, so
Yeah, I was looking for those too.
if you walked out of the kitchen and went straight, you would have gone right out the front door. Most of the room is to your right, and so as you look into the right, the strings are in the back of the room in one corner, and it looks like there's a solid wooden door in the other. And from your vague recollection, you think that might be where at least the upper party is, if not the entrance to the keep
Did
tower.
I notice, like when I was in the kitchen, did I notice like service access to?
No, it didn't seem that there was surface access there, but there is a small little tunnel around that big door that you see. A little bit shorter in nature, but it does have like a lift piece on it. So to you, it looks like it might be a door that goes up or another spiral staircase, but something that's built off to the side, not a standard passageway.
I want to go look at it.
All right. As you're walking through and holding your empty tray, there's a few glasses that get placed on your tray. And you get back to the back and you notice that this door kind of opens both wide and tall. And it does have a very magical glow about it. It seems like some lift system plus a pulley system. So the pulley system is very lightweight, but you do notice that there might be some levitation spell helping alleviate the weight.
Okay. I'll probably try and find the others.
All right.
So as I'm walking around,
Mhm.
people are just taking stuff off my tray.
You're taking stuff off your tray. Yep.
Do I notice anybody going in or out of that big door? that goes
No,
up to
you
the key?
notice no movement at that big door. It is sort of dimly lit at the moment. You do see one of your kobold companions going and checking out the door behind it. But you do see just one well-dressed guard, like the front guards, just kind of moseying about near that back corner, not really watching anybody. He's eating and drinking and chatting with a few people, so he seems of higher rank than the guards out front, but he seems to keep to that back corner at the moment.
I like to think that I grabbed some appetizers.
Mhm.
So I would like to scan the room to see who
Yeah.
may look the richest.
Alright, so as now you're wandering the room and trying to find the richest, you're looking around and you kind of move between, and someone like reaches out and misses an appetizer, and you hear, didn't want one of those anyway. And
I just shrug it off like,
you
whatever.
just shrug it off, and you're on a mission, you're looking for the richest, and then you come up to this man who's got a diamond-encrusted monocle.
Wow.
I like it.
He has a cane with all sorts of gemstones down the cane, and then on his nice jacket he's got a big golden crest, which when you look around you do see that golden crest emblazoned everywhere. He seems to be either the biggest donor or the owner of this place.
Alright, what kind of appetizers do you think I would have grabbed?
So you probably grabbed more of the vegetable platter.
You would.
It does have various assortments of vegetables sliced and cooked and arranged in various shapes. Very bougie looking food.
Meanwhile, I grabbed the bacon wrap anything.
You
More like
smelled
bacon
and
wraps
saw meat and
everything.
you're just like, yep, meat.
Yep. Pigs in a blanket, right here.
Basically.
I would like to approach him
Mm-hmm.
and say, "Sir, would you be interested in some appetizers this evening?"
He looks down and kind of picks at a couple of them and picks one up and goes,
They're delicious, I have to say. I think I've had 3 dozen of them.
From
Our secret.
from tonight's party.
No, last week's. But it was the same cook, so.
yeah. At least you weren't eating this evening's food.
Delicious, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And as he's giving the thumbs up, he kind of waves a few over, and there's a couple people who grab a bite, and he goes, "Thank you very much. Send some of the best around when you can."
Oh, sir, I must say, you are throwing a lovely party this evening. And you look spectacular.
He looks like he was about ready to scold you, as if he wanted to have you get back to work, and he goes, I quite do look nice. And he turns and engages in conversation away from you, and you just got away with almost being booted back to the kitchen.
Wow, what?
I was like, okay, he's not gonna talk to me,
What?
so I start walking over toward the swords.
One of the other kobolds dressed in a server's uniform, with a gold pocket watch in hand, walks up to you and goes, "We're not supposed to speak to the guests. He's the one that's paying for our party."
Where did you get that pocket watch?
Closes it quick. "My great-great-great-grandfather got it about 15 years ago. But, it's a family heirloom. And one day I'll pass it down to my kids."
Sure. You have a good evening.
"You too. Don't talk to the guests."
Sure.
He shakes his head and continues to keep an eye on all of the servers, pulls out a cloth and wipes a glass case, and he's being very meticulous about the staff on the floor this evening.
Great. I'd like to walk over to the swords and start a conversation with another person. Same thing.
Oh gosh.
Would you be interested in some appetizers this evening?
It's the two young men that
Great.
were staring
They're,
at
like,
the swords, and the one still has his jaw dropped open looking at all the swords. He just kind of reaches over and grabs a handful, 2 or 3, puts them in his mouth and starts chewing. Some food hits the floor, and he's just staring at all of the swords. The one who's pointing out his dad's looks down and goes, "Oh, vegetables, come on. There should be... Where's the meat? I saw meat float past here earlier."
Did someone say meat?
And you happened to be just near enough to hear it, because you were just around there. And
What's
like,
up?
"Perfect. You two are great. Just keep bringing all the meats past here. Bring all the vegetables to that stuffy old man over there." And he points to the man you had just talked to. And he grabs a few different meats off the cart. "So, you like all the shiny swords here, huh? These are so cool." And he just stuffs his mouth, and the
he
friend...
must be talking to the friend, right?
He's kind of just talking in general to the two of you with food, and the friend who's just kind of like shoving food in his mouth, just eyes wide at everything.
I'd like to take my towel off of my little belt and like pat his face, the guy who's just like focused on it, and like grab the food and just stuffed it in, just like, "So sorry, sir.
Why are you using me?
You reach up and you're able to get
I'm just like...
You reach up and you're able to like wipe a bit of the food off of his chin that he's missed, and he goes, "Thank you." And he like grabs a towel in your hand and wipes his face and looks down and realizes he's made a mess out of his nice clothes, and he's like gently like brushing some of it off. Any more towels back there?
Oh, I would be happy to get you another one. Here, hold this.
He grabs the food and just starts eating it, and
Oh my
he's like,
gosh.
"All right, I'll be right here."
I take the towel and I like run back to the kitchen to get another one.
So as you're running back to the kitchen, you do notice out of the corner of your eye, the kobold who did reprimand you is like looking at the young man who's just stuffing his face, and then watching you, and kind of starts moving towards the kitchen, and you kind of lose sight as you make it into the kitchen. If you're still standing...
I'm still standing there, like, does she think she works here? Like...
And
Okay.
I believe at this time, Gnocchi would have come back from the back doors as she was looking at them.
Yeah. So who would I have found first?
Who would you have found first?
Out of them.
I think you just watched the whole kerfuffle of handing off the tray and whatnot. And you all do sort of meet up where these two men are, aside from, the kobold who believes she now owns the joint.
I do.
How old are these two boys, men?
Yeah, they're like 16, 17, so...
Humans?
They're humans. They're much older than most of you. A few of you are, what, 20?
In kobold years.
In kobold years.
The
Yeah.
oldest of us is.
So...
Oh, yeah, I'm 17, so...
Yeah, you're about their age, time-wise.
Time-wise.
Right.
They're definitely less
Mentally,
matured.
I'm like
Yeah.
mid-30s, so...
Yeah, they're definitely less matured because they're species,
Yeah.
humans.
So as I'm reconvening with this group, I make sure to set aside some glasses of the more alcoholic drinks, and I offer it to them, hoping that they would possibly get inebriated.
The two boys,
Yeah.
they look down and around and are like, drinking age is 18 here. Dad doesn't care. And they both pick up a drink and they cheers you and start drinking, and they're just enjoying their time. You see a old lady walk past, the one who turned up her nose at the drink selection. You boys, don't drink. I'm telling your fathers. And she walks away, and this woman's attempting to ruin the party. And at that moment, you do hear a clapping over by the stringed instrument playing, like a single person clapping, not an applause, just kind of gathering attention. There's a young man standing in a very similar vest as the older man, big, bright gold emblem. He goes, "Welcome everyone, thank you for joining. My father has put his blood, sweat, and tears into this wonderful collection of artifacts. Some of them were conquested, some of them were donated, some of them, well, we had to make purchases and trades. Long histories, you can read about it all on every little placard. Tonight we want to honor him, and we want to show some of the new things that we're bringing to the keep. We do have some special artifacts to share with the biggest donors of you," and he kind of looks over to a corner where you do see a few kind of raise their glasses in like a light air cheers. And he looks around the room and goes, "Eat, enjoy, you have free reign to go here to the dancing and party upstairs. And we'll do private tours to the upper keep to show some of the fanciest, most dangerous items we've acquired. Do make sure to say hi to my father as you pass. He'll be floating in this area for the evening, wanting to thank each and every one of you for your contributions. And, oh, there's some drinks over there," and points towards the cart. "And there should be some more drinks coming out in a second. Feel free to drink up and be merry. And I'm watching you boys," and he points to the boys next to
Me.
Yeah.
and he just gives a little wink and he goes, "Don't have too much." And he walks off, the strings start playing again, and there's a light applause, more of a golf clap.
Okay. So, there is party going on upstairs.
Yeah, there was a party that you kind of noticed on like a outdoor patio-esque setup, but you couldn't tell exactly what was going on because you were kind of looking up. You did notice there were people mildly like moving about in a dance pattern, and then a few that were like drinking and eating next to the edge of the wall. So you don't know what shindigs are going on, but it seemed like more party-esque.
So if there's food and drinks being had upstairs, it's only right that food and drinks should be brought upstairs.
Right.
I know our way up too. I found one.
I think we should cater to those people.
Literally.
Actually, though. Yeah, no, that should be our next thing. So I'm gonna go back to the kitchen and restock my tray.
Swap out dirty dishes for clean dishes.
Yeah.
The towel fiasco. You heard some of the speech as you did whatever you did in the kitchen and came out.
Yeah, I just swapped towels and came back out and grabbed my tray from that guy. And did it look like he had eaten like a good majority?
He destroyed the platter. If it wasn't eaten, he had dropped crumbs across it, so it's definitely not serviceable anymore.
Great. So what did you think of the appetizer? Was it good?
Mm-hmm.
I know. Do you want some more?
Sure. Is there any others like that? Like, I don't know.
I'll bring you whatever you want.
When do the sweets come out?
Sweet guy. I got you. I got you.
Okay. Make sure the sweets cart comes by us. We might go upstairs here in a minute. I hear the dancing is gonna be kind of fun. Seeing as we're some of the youngest ones here, maybe that's where our others are. Maybe we're just the youngest and we're gonna watch someone break a hip on the dance floor, but whatever. Well, meet us up there. Send the sweets up there first.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
he kind of looks around. If you haven't figured it out, there's a cart path back behind that door.
Thank you. I've been looking for it everywhere.
Yeah, they were actually sending people around the back, and it's a mess back there because it's a more manual lift. It takes longer.
Oh yeah. I did
it's
it
fun.
last week. I understand.
Oh, okay, cool. So yeah, you know the drill.
Yeah.
Use that cart path. You can find us faster.
Cool.
And he points off to where Gnocchi had found the lift. Apparently, these kids know their ins and outs of the area, and you see them kind of scurry off, and they look around, and they go back into the cart path, and they shut the gate, and you see them raise it up quick, and you hear a second later just a whir as it comes sliding down empty. So they used a service entrance to the second floor.
I would like to make my way back to the kitchen because I have an empty tray, but try to make eye contact with any of you guys that I can see in the crowd,
I think I'm
and
still back there.
head bob to the kitchen, guys.
That was the weirdest head bob I've ever seen.
Is she okay?
It's a nervous tick.
It's like SNL.
It's a nervous tick.
So
I was thinking
I see
Torella.
the head bob. That may be a tick. Think that possibly she's gesturing to the kitchen, so I push the cart back there.
As you're all making it back to the kitchen, some of the dirties are being cleared from your trays by other kobolds and goblins that are working in the kitchen, right at the door. They're handing you fresh trays. You barely even make it into the edge of the kitchen, and they're stocking you up with more to go back out on the floor. This time it's not small little hors d'oeuvres. There's meat skewers, and there's small little bowls of soup. Another big tray of alcohol gets put on the cart. It does have red wines, white wines, some fancier drinks. A couple of them even look like they're bubbling smoke. And there's no orders issued. They just kind of keep rotating the food out. And you get a quick glance over each of your uniforms and dusting off of one of the shoulders to knock off a crumb or something, and a little shoo out the door.
Wait. Before you go back to that, you gotta let me know when the desserts come out, because the teenagers are asking about it already.
The one elf that overhears as you're talking to the goblin just in the door, the teenagers are asking for the desserts already.
Yes. I didn't make any
Are
promises.
they the two
but
boys?
Yes.
Troublemakers.
But they're rich kids, so I want to make sure that they get their sweets, but...
Dessert will be served in... He kind of looks down at a fancy ticking clock on his watch, or on his wrist, and he looks at it and goes, according to the timers, it will be 15-20 minutes. We've got to finish the last bit of glaze, and it's got to dry.
Oh, okay. I'll be back then. Thanks. I scurry out the door.
As you scurry out the door, the goblin catches you on the shoulder briefly, and he hands you a small tray, and it's got 2 pieces of what looks like day-old cake on them. And he goes, maybe if they want some dessert to start, this'll be fine. It was from last night's shindig.
I'll see.
Okay. And
Yeah.
he
Day-old cake? Who wants day-old cake?
and he
I'm not
I mean,
as the other kobolds eyeball the cake you were handed, all of them licking their lips, that thought probably is animals.
I'm just thinking of these rich kids. But you never know. You never know.
let's go.
All right, so
You don't have to tell them.
We
it's
head
there.
out of the kitchen.
Yeah.
So
And
are you the only one that's there?
I've got a cart full of drinks.
Mm-hmm.
Are you?
So
Yeah, I'm.
Each
I
of
was
you now
there.
has a tray loaded up.
Yeah.
There's various
Mine
foods
is
on
on
each trays.
Tuesday.
No, they've given you a food tray. So as you walk through, a few items get pulled from, but you're walking with such passion and hurry to that back door that people just think, oh, they're bringing it upstairs. There's a few hungry grabs, but it's like you have most of your trays. You make it in. The door opens nicely as you walk in. Cart rolls up. The platform does a light bounce as if it's sitting on a cushion of air.
Can we all fit in there?
Yeah,
Mhm.
how many of us can fit in there?
Yeah, all of you can fit in there. The
Oh.
cart can fit in there. It looks like it's built for a couple humans with larger carts.
Oh.
So I pull on the rope.
You pull on the rope, and with very minimal force, it starts lifting the platform as if you're pulling a pound or less of weight on the pulley.
Cool.
So now I'm stuck because I pulled the rope and I'm holding the tray.
Oh,
Wait.
So she pulls it down, and then I go, and I hold down.
Oh. ingenuity of the kobolds, because you're each holding a tray. You have to work together.
Guys, I was just gonna pull it because I've got the cart, but okay.
You do make it up to the top, and the platform locks in, and it does kind of hover and bounce a little bit, but you do get a nice opening of the patio area. And there is a bigger band at the far end of the patio. The patio is only about 30 by 40 in feet for those of you in the UK. Sorry, that's too much math. 10 meters by 10 and
This is D&D. We use
10.3
feet.
meters. Yeah. So it's about 10 by 40, and the band's playing at the other end. There's a few tables set up with food as if it was more buffet style up here. You don't see any servers walking around with food, but you see them picking up dirties and bringing them back behind the service station. The two boys are dancing off by the front band area, and there are a couple other young men who have joined them, and it seems like they're just having a little bit of a blast up front. There's a few older couples trying to dance something that doesn't fit the music, a little bit slower. You do notice as you look around that there are no guards up here, but there is a little doorway that looks like it leads back to the tower, but the service station is sitting up in front of that with one elf and a handful of kobolds who are doing service for that station.
Where's the door?
So the door, if you walked out, is kind of back to your right. So you look over, service station's to your right, and back behind it, it like curves a little bit, and there's a doorway next to the tower, which you see right there as well.
Okay. And then, like, parties happening here.
Party's happening in front of you, yep.
How, like, what are the dimensions of the room again?
Dimensions of the room are about 30 wide, 40 out, and infinite up into space.
Oh, there's no roof.
There's no roof.
Oh, okay.
You're on a patio.
Got it. Sorry, I missed that part.
Alright, that's alright.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna walk around a little bit just to blend in.
As you walk around, there is sort of an inlaid wooden floor that seems to be like the dance area. You do get a little hand of one of the service station kobolds on your shoulder. Don't go out there. If you spill your tray, they might fire you. Remember the last guy? You were here at last night's party, right?
Of course I was.
Well, remember how they threw him off the roof?
Do you see my wings?
All right, careful.
Am I able to hold the tray in front of me?
You're able to. It is a bit of a balance.
Mm-hmm.
If you do walk, I will need you every once in a while to make a certain check to make sure you don't.
Sure.
So if you want to just hold it and stand there, you can do that fine. But if you want to move while holding it in front of you, it is big and kind of wants to pull you forward.
Okay. I'll keep it on top of me for now, and I'll walk just the border, not out in the front, like in the middle where all the dancing is. Just walk around the border.
Yeah. So around the edges there is a nice stone gating that stands to you about mid-forehead, but to most of the human size about waist level. So not a very safe ledge, but one that definitely tries to keep people from falling off of it. There's a few people leaning up against it, having some drinks, eating some food. One guy kind of just peers at what's on your tray and shrugs and doesn't pay any more attention. Lady kind of waves you over and looks at the foods you have. I believe you have the meat stews and various other things, and she picks one up and smells it. Do you know what kind of meat is in here?
Delicious.
Delicious meat.
Mm.
Well, thank you. And she turns and continues conversation. She turns back. You wouldn't happen to have a spoon?
Do I have spoons on my tray?
You do not.
Just drink
it.
Tell her to drink it.
Alright.
Drink it. Metagaming.
I find that the best soup is just best.
She turns and sheepishly looks around, and you hear a
You're welcome.
Is there enough space around the sides for my cart to maneuver?
Yeah, there's enough, but you might bump into people because there's a few conversations going. But you do have drinks on there, so I think people would either get out of your way or enjoy the drinks that you have.
The door is to the right,
Doors to the right.
and I assume that goes like into like the keep area, or
It seems to go into the tower part of the keep, and the service station is still in front of it, so you have to kind of get back behind with all the others.
okay. So I'll set my tray on the service station.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go look in the door. And really quick, because usually Lauren does this, and I'm not as good at it. I just want to say hi to everyone who's already tuned in. I know I'm gonna miss some people, but there's like Chris Hansen's here, Push, Gil Heron, Frawley. I know Shadow Reels had to go because it's late there.
Yeah.
But we got a bunch of follows too. I think that one says Bullfrog. Reza. So Glenn's joined
Nice.
us.
Hi, Glenn. Hi.
And Broccoli Howard, thanks for the follow as well. So those follows are all taking down the hype boss, and Brutal Deluxe decided to show up,
Brutal
Yeah.
Deluxe.
but in
Tom,
full
whoa.
fashion with his resub. So we took down the hype boss a bit again. So,
Yeah. So
hello. Thanks for joining in, everyone.
again, reminding those hype boss things, because if you didn't tune in early, the hype boss below me, that health bar when it goes down, it's pretty fun. You can make it go down by liking, subbing,
Thanks for the follow,
sharing,
Frawley.
following, and when that hits 0, whoever ends up killing the hype boss
Get to assign it.
becomes the new hype boss, and they get to give a nat 20 to any of the player or DM rolls
Oh snap.
for once, meaning that's a crit hit, a free crit hit. So bring your friends, bring your subs. We're ready for this. But yes, you are at the party, and thank you for all those who have tuned in and are dancing
Yeah.
at the party with us right now. You're looking around. What's going on?
Aw.
Aw.
Sombrero in the attic says you girls rock.
That's
So-
my dad.
Aw, thanks.
Hi, Dad.
Aw.
So sweet.
Cute.
Yeah.
So I went into I set my tray down.
Yep,
and I
you
was
went to the
going
service
into
station. As soon as you set your tray down, some of the other kobolds there start putting the food out at the table and tucking the tray back behind as if it was an expected delivery.
So I would like to hopefully get rid of all or most of the things on my tray.
It takes a short lap around the outside. You only had a handful of bowls because it was a larger dinner portion. You do get the question multiple times, do you have a spoon? And you most likely give the same,
Yeah.
and
yes.
you hear lots of slurping throughout the party.
Heck
and-
yeah.
And some clinks, and you see a few people cheers with their soup bowls.
Look what I've
And-
begun.
and they're enjoying their meat stews.
Very fancy, my butt.
But you do see that first lady walk up.
Lawful, more like chaotic.
You do see that first lady walk up to the service station and look around and end up grabbing a fork to eat
the chunky
the
bits.
chunks of the soup.
Got it. Okay.
I'd like to go over. Those two guys are on the dance floor, the teenagers.
Yeah, they're on the dance floor up at the front with a couple guys that look a little bit older than them, so early 20s.
Is there any way I could flag them down for some cake?
They're dancing about, but I think they have seen some of the food come up here and have been eyeballing and saw the soup and passed that by. And they do catch sight of you, and one of them elbows the other, and the younger man whose mouth is agape comes over and goes, "They've got dessert already? Okay.
I got this specially for you guys.
Okay, you don't happen to have any more for our friends over there, right? No. Alright, cool. He kind of waves his friend over. I'm not feeling very good! And so his friend comes over quickly, and they both grab the cake off of the plate. Thanks.
Wait. I just have a quick question because I'm dying with curiosity. Do you know what people are going to see when they go through those special tours tonight?
I hear some dangerous magical relics.
Really?
Things that either bring life or kill things, or I hear that there's a blade up there that actually is sentient and it talks to you.
Are you kidding? That's awesome.
No, but can I eat my cake now?
Yeah.
Okay,
Go ahead. Sorry. Just
And they rush off and they kind of tuck around the corner and eat their cake, looking around, like trying not to let anyone else know that they have dessert.
The cake wasn't a lie after all.
It wasn't a lie after all. And at that point, the music gets a little bit louder and the dancing gets a little bit livelier. You hear a little bit of an announcement of 15 more minutes before tours start, and you hear that it kind of comes from the back door area where you had come in, but most people don't seem to pay any mind as the music is going and there's a lot of exuberance happening right now. The kobolds at the dinner station are cleaning up and adjusting, and it looks like they're getting ready for dessert to come out shortly.
I want to get to one or all of you, if I can. I'm just, I don't know who I get to, but it's like, should we go up before they start doing tours? Because what we're looking for is in the keep.
What did I see in the room while I'm in there? Really quick.
Back
Oh, that's right,
behind,
you went
back
in.
behind
Yeah.
the service station.
Yeah.
So you got back behind the service station, and it's a little kind of offshoot corridor, only about 5 foot deep, nothing crazy. It's got a overhang, and it seems like this is a spot where a guard would normally sit, but there isn't a guard there. The door is a very big, ornate wooden carved door with a giant lock on it, and a barred window up top that, if you're able to jump and peek in, it's super dark in there. You see a torch lit, which seems to be kind of up a little bit of a stairwell, so a faint orange glow comes down. But you do believe that there's stairs going up, and that this is a way to the keep top.
Cool. And then really quick, Brutal Deluxe wants to know what music that they're playing in this world.
They're playing death metal, but on 3-stringed guitars and something that looks like a violin, but is plucked, but not with a bow. It's really weird. It's something that you would probably not like, or you probably would like Brutal, I know you. But to the ears here, the kobolds just hear it as some weird, plucky string music. It's very high-tempoed.
Ding 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 ding
okay.
ding 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 ding.
So-
Oh no! We've got like a weird country bluegrass going on.
Okay,
That was
so
supposed to be Barracuda.
I park my cart by the service station and I join to look at the door and examine the lock.
Yeah, as you examine the lock, this is one that, even with your proficiency with your thieves' tools, might be a challenge to you. It seems to be a very sturdy, no-break 7000, one of the fancier locks of this common era.
Can you do it?
No break 7,000.
You've picked the no-break 6000 and the mild break 500s, but
Okay.
Try it.
Well, should we do it now? Would this be a good idea?
Yeah.
Just do it.
Okay, so I'm going to use expertise and my set of lockpicks for my thieves' tools, and I'm going to roll. I get proficiency bonus ×2 with any ability check. I'm going to use my dexterity.
sleight of hand.
Your sleight of hand? Oh, yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah.
use my sleight of hand. Okay. I roll. What do I roll for that?
20.
Okay. Okay, 15.
Nice.
And then +6.
So she
So,
got a
21.
21.
So with a 21, you feel the locks start to move. You know that you've gotten 6 of what feels like 7 pins in the tumbler. You're very close. You feel that with just a couple more minutes, you might be able to get it, but that wasn't the right go.
Dang it.
So, as the rest of you are standing around, you do see a little bit of commotion, food leaving the service station and heading back down the elevators, but no one's really paid mind to you yet.
Okay.
Is there any way I can assist her?
Yeah, you could. You can do an assist. I believe that adds +2 for a sleight of hand. So
Okay.
you can try again for another.
Okay.
Do
Okay.
it again.
So
Do it
then
again.
I go back, jiggling the lock. Oh, it's a 12. Okay, it's 18 this time.
18
So
this
plus
time.
one, two.
You feel that you get most of the pins again, and you're super close.
Ooh.
But you do feel that the tension on the lock just is still a little too heavy to get a full turn.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm gonna keep jiggling the lock. You guys, make sure no one looks. Okay.
You got it.
Okay. With assist, let's see what I roll this time. Okay. So 6, 20, and then plus the 2, 22 this time.
22. You do feel that you get all of the pins,
Uh-huh.
but as you start to turn, your tension rod bends a little bit. This is a very heavy lock. You're able to get it to move, and you're able to get the door mostly unlocked. It's in a state now that if you can figure out a way to continue to add pressure with something bigger or stronger, it'd be fine, but it's mostly unlocked. You just can't turn the bolt. You realize that it's mostly because there's potentially 1 or 2 bolts that it's pushing into the wall. So there's a lot of pressure there that needs the key to turn. But your craftiness, you know you're super close to having it opened.
Is it a fear of breaking her tools, or is she just?
The
The
tool
tools-
starts to bend in her hand because it's meant
Oh.
for smaller locks. This is a very
Yeah.
sturdy, like, fortress type lock where
Okay.
she's able to pop all the pins and get it to start twisting.
Did she
but-
tell us that? Did you tell us this?
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
She's relaying the information, most
So,
likely.
would I be able to use mending to reinforce it, or?
No, mending would allow you to put it back to a normal state, and she'd be able to bend it yet again.
Could we use like a dagger or an arrow to like slide it in next to it to reinforce it?
It does look like a very small dagger might work. If you've got a really fine-tipped arrowhead, maybe. But if you've got a fairly small dagger, it should fit.
Is there any way to force the door open?
Not with 4 kobolds worth of weight. That I think
Okay.
you sum total up to 130 pounds or something.
Right. I mean, listen, I just want to do a double check.
Yeah,
You never know.
by all means.
Oh, I do have a set of narrow-bladed scissors. But I don't know if that would be enough, though, because those are...
I have a dagger.
Let's go with the dagger.
Okay.
Okay.
So I lend my dagger to the
Yeah, as
effort.
the dagger goes in just enough to apply tension, I do need a strength check
Oh, no.
to see if she has enough strength to turn
This is
the
going to
lock.
go badly, guys.
It's gonna go very badly.
Okay.
Oh no!
It's a 1.
No, it's
It
not.
was a 2 on the die, so it's not. A
Oh,
fail.
Two on the die, but I
Okay,
got
okay,
for
okay.
strength. It's
Yeah, but that
Oh.
there's a difference because
Oh.
it's
With a
not
negative
a
one,
crit
yeah.
fail.
Yeah.
You do feel like no motion happens.
Is there any way that
Can I,
like
we,
any of us can
lend-
like help? Like
Can I step in and try to push it for her?
because the pins are already undone.
Pins
so
are
it's just
already
a matter
undone.
of turning
Yeah, the
it.
tumbler's already
Yeah.
turning a bit.
Okay. So I
all
back
place
off.
our hands on there and turn at the same time?
All at the same time.
and it would become counterproductive.
So I'm rolling strength, right?
Did you?
Crit
That's a
fail.
crit fail.
Okay.
But it's a
It's a 0.
8.
Wait,
It's
is
an
it?
8.
Wait.
Yes,
Oh,
it's
you
an
have
8.
+1.
You don't crit
But-
fail on checks,
Right,
which is
right.
the only safety
Oh.
here.
Oh my
But
gosh.
yeah,
Good.
it would have been a crit fail in any other way, shape, or
Thank
form. You're able to
goodness.
make it budge just a little bit, but you realize that this lock has so many parts to it that are putting so much force on the door that as you're trying to turn it, you don't think you've ever encountered a deadbolt that has 5 or 6 bolts. But this feels that strong.
Can I
and
try?
heavy. Sure.
Is this
sure.
magical?
Yeah, am I seeing it? Because is my detect magic still working?
Your detect magic has most likely worn off.
Oh.
Oh my god, what is with this lock?
What did it do?
I rolled a 2! So that's a 1. And oh my god, this lock has cursed our dice.
You feel
Nobody
that
has lucky.
the lock doesn't budge.
Oh my
Wow.
Guys, we're gonna get
Wait,
defeated by a
guys.
lock.
At this point,
Wait, is it a lock that like turns like this?
it's a lock that turns. Yep.
So can I stand so like I'm facing it so it would like turn towards me?
Okay.
What?
And can I cast lightning lure?
Do you think that might?
Because it'll pull it, and that's a lot of force. Because because normally a creature has to make a save, so it would pull it 10 feet to me, right?
But I feel like that, because if it's in the lock like this, it would just like bend. Like it would just do that. It wouldn't like turn it. Would it turn
The
it?
blade isn't too far into the lock. I don't want you to accidentally kill yourself if the blade.
But if we take the blade out, can I still turn it, or does the blade have to be in?
Well, the blade's the one that's providing the tension for the turn.
Is there anything that I have that can
But
help?
as you're all like fiddling with the lock and like scrambling with it, one of the young men had like scooted over and looks at all of you and goes, what are you doing?
Can you just turn it? Just turn it. We're supposed to be up there, and we got locked out. And can you please just turn it? Because we're having some trouble.
I don't think anyone's supposed to be up there because I was about to, and he pulls a dagger out of his pocket, but it's got a lot of nicks in it. He goes, I was about to try that myself.
Well, come with us.
Just turn it. Just turn it. Can I?
We did have the work for you. Just turn it. We're tiny.
Can I like flip a gold to him?
You can flip a gold to him, but as you do, he kind of lets it bounce like he's not taking his eye off of any of you. This is a weird situation. He was trying to break in, but someone else is trying to break in. He takes a step back.
Wait. I'm sure we can all help each other out here. What is up there?
That's what I'm trying to find out. I heard there's some great magical items up there. You heard the other guy. He said
What
there's
guy?
a talking blade. Remember?
There's a talking.
Yeah, that's what the guy said.
There's a talking blade up there.
Yeah.
I'm acting like I don't know.
I'm like, he told you.
Yeah. There's a talking blade up there. Just.
All right.
Wait, which guy is this? Who's the guy talking to us? I thought this was another server. Is this not another server?
No, this is one of the young man.
Oh, I'm
Sorry.
sorry. Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
So
yeah,
it was a
I know what you're talking about
miscommunication
now.
here, not a miscommunication
okay.
with the kobold going.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Sorry. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was one of the young men
Is
you
this
served
working?
cake to. It wasn't the one
okay.
that was talking about the items. It was the one who was hanging out with him.
The mouth agape one.
The mouth agape one. Who he seems a bit more nefarious himself, as he's pulled a blade that he's obviously used to pick locks.
Is this working? Is he like getting on our side?
No,
No.
he's taking a
Okay.
step back and is kind of
So
looking at all
I'm
of
gonna
you.
cast Charm Person
Oh no!
Oh.
Oh no! Okay.
Okay.
because does it mean anything if I'm casting it at second level instead of first level? Does it give
let
me?
my encounter app crashed. So please read Charm Person to me.
Well, I was looking in the book has a better than.
I got it here too.
Sorry,
it's
that's why I
facts.
read because it has a better explanation.
Yeah, almost there.
Charm
No, I-
Person. At higher levels, when you cast it using a second level or higher, you can target one additional creature.
But I don't want to. Is there two of them there?
No.
Just him, right?
Just
the
him,
one guy.
right? Well, I guess okay. Well,
And it lasts for an hour if it works.
I know, right? Okay, so
A
I'm
wisdom
casting,
saving throw.
Yeah. Against my saving throw, right? Against my DC.
Yep, against your DC.
Yes.
Something with this room tonight. He rolled a 1.
Yes!
So with his wisdom modifier, it's a 1.
Yeah, he didn't save.
No, he didn't
Okay.
save whatsoever. When he's charmed, he regards you as,
As
a
a
friendly
friendly.
acquaintance.
Yeah.
But then he'll know he's charmed once it wears off.
Yeah, we'll be gone in
but
an
we'll
hour.
deal with that.
In an hour. That should give us
One
plenty
thing
of
at a
time.
time.
Yeah. Alright, it's
You
fine.
see that as you've cast charm on him, this sparkle goes across his body, and he stands up a bit more, puts the dagger in. So you were saying that you've got it open, you just need it turned?
We just need a little
Yeah.
help turning it. It's just we're just too short.
So he walks up and he wrenches on it, and he goes, "Whoa, this is a big lock!" And he really like turns, and you hear a ka-thunk into the door, and the door eases open just a little bit, and you see that it's a super thick, like half-foot thick wooden door,
Oh my gosh.
and
That's
there's
a thick door.
6 different posts that have sunken into the door as the deadbolts, 3 on top and 3 on the bottom. Lights magically come up just inside. You see a staircase that heads up top in the same direction you want. It meets with another door on the other side, and that door opens just as you peer in. And you see the ornately dressed guardsman backing in and giving a bit of a tour of, and we'll cross up here, and once we reach the top, I would suggest no one touches anything. And as the guardsman walks in and you are all peeking in, the young man who is now your friend scoops you all back and carefully shuts the door down, and he peers in. He goes, "I see 2 with the captain. We might want to wait just a second, and then we can go up behind. I hear it's a big place up there."
There's only 2 people getting a tour?
There's only 2 people getting a tour right now.
Okay. Alright.
With how many guards? 2 guards?
One
guard.
The
one
captain.
guardsman, the captain, the ornately dressed man who was downstairs earlier. He's bringing 2 people in. They're well dressed, from what you could tell before the door was shut on you.
Okay.
And
There's
as
a window with bars,
There's a
right?
window with bars that the young man's looking through,
Okay.
and he's describing the situation that they're walking carefully up the stairs. The sound is quite muffled because the door is so thick, but you hear sort of an announcer, like tour spiel-esque voice behind the door. And as the young man reaches to open the door back again, from behind you, you hear another guard. "What are you doing back here?" And the young man just stops dead in his tracks. All of you are just kind of looking at the door and looking behind, and you see it's one of the guards you'd seen down at the front door.
But we came in.
No, he was starting to open the
He
door.
was in front of us.
He was
'cause
starting to
pushed
open the
us
door
back.
back to the tower,
Okay.
and a guard came up behind you from the party area.
Oh.
So now you've got a guard behind you. The young man's frozen at the door, just kind of looking around. And this is a great spot for a break.
Can I say I had pulled my dagger from the lock when we got the door open?
Yeah, you can have pulled that, and
Okay.
you've got your
My tools.
tools. Around you, you still have like a tray or a few other little things, but there's no like easy cover, and you're in a micro corridor, only a few feet. So this guard is about 10 feet behind you between the serving station and you guys. So we're going on break.
Oh my gosh.
As this was a bit
Dun,
crazy.
dun.
I hear there are some sound issues that I will turn us up a little bit for the next half. So stay tuned to a slightly louder second half. And hopefully we'll have our theme video play us back in. If not, you'll hear me humming it for a moment and letting you know to come back. We're taking about 10 minutes, so we will see you all shortly. Now, let's hope I can change my scenes now. Don't wave too soon. Technology doesn't always work.
Wave when I want to wave.
You wave when you
There's
want.
people
It's
out
okay.
there. Hi, people. She's unarmed.
They're
Yeah.
planning.
It's true.
They're
No,
planning.
I can use that.
They're
no.
planning.
We're
everyone.
going.
They're ready.
It's not
They're
metagaming,
ready.
right?
It's only metagaming if you call it that.
So our audio did change a little bit. Hopefully we sound a little bit better to you. If not,
Put
whoops.
it in the comments. We'll
Put it in the
watch.
comments.
Yeah.
We'll cry about it because we don't have a tech person. Brutal Deluxe. You need to be here. Come on. He was the one texting me.
I know.
On our break, he said, "Sound. You should do this to the sound if he was here." There is an opening. There's a nice chair right there that you can sit yourself in.
It's off
and you
camera.
It's a chair.
It's off camera. You get to have fun. But I guess you're missing out. And our audio is slightly different now because of it.
And if you were in person, the audio would be perfect.
Tom, they don't even know you, and they're giving you crap.
She's
I
got
like
your
this.
number.
I like this. Thank you. I think. Well, we're looking at trying to get a third weekend a month. This might be a good group to hassle Tom into playing. Come on.
He's just happy to have had a positive influence.
Aw,
Hey.
thanks, dude. Cool. So welcome back. We're in a precarious situation. These 4 kobolds are trying to break into a nice little stronghold of a keep tower. They've been caught by a guard and have charmed a person, a young man who is now full of cake and other hors d'oeuvres. It's a weird little spot here. This party is going on, but before we get back to the party, just a quick reminder: you can be the bit boss or hype boss by taking out the person below me, by liking, following, subscribing, using the cheers. What else can you do? Giving me a high five. I'll try to make it happen. I'm not sure how I can change that number, but if you come here for a high five, I got you. But
Tipping.
outside, subbing, tipping, all of that. Tipping does change the game. At the $5 level, some random effects happen. At the $10 level, you get to assign a reroll. So all those ones that we were getting earlier. Maybe
That
those
would
could have
have
been
come in
20s. Those could have been 20s if you only helped on that. But if you also want to give it the $20 level, you can really mess with the game. A friend or foe will appear, and it'll be at the DM's discretion. So if they're in need of help, maybe the DM will be nice. If they're really beaten up on my people, the DM might bring in a dragon or something.
Oh boy.
Again.
What?
Yeah,
Fought dragons.
don't worry. DM brings dragons in randomly. But yeah, we do have sponsors. I will pop to the sponsors. Briefly going over them. You can see them up to my left. That way. These are all the sponsors. Their links are below. Please check them out. They all have great, awesome things they're doing. They're all small companies, and we want to partner with small companies because we believe as we're small and growing, and they're small and growing, that we can help one another out by sharing each other's craft. So check them all out. They all have great crafts. One of them is caffeine and caffeinated kobold right there, which is very fitting for our show tonight because it's all kobolds. Unfortunately, we didn't. We could have given you all coffee. But this show would have gone completely different. It would have been like, I open the door. You're not near a door. Okay, open it anyways.
It did burst through the kitchen door.
You did burst through the kitchen door. You did. And you scared a few little creatures. But take a look at them. We're going to get back to the story, and hopefully our sound's better. If it isn't, please do message, especially on our Discord, where you can give us feedback each week. Since we don't have a tech person, it is nice to hear what you guys hear because sometimes it's a little different when we rewatch it. So, awesome. Back at it. These fun-loving kobolds just trying to go for a little stroll through a party decided to break into a tower with mystical items on it. As I was describing to them, so everyone's got the picture, there's this big old tower that goes up into the air. There's 2 doorways in. The captain just came in one doorway and went up the stairs with a tour group of 2. The others, with their charmed human being here, had closed the door briefly so they weren't caught by the captain, and are just now starting to open it back up. But a guard, who is standing off towards the service station and where the other kobolds were dealing with food, has caught them and said, "Hey, what are you doing back here?" And that's where we freeze-framed and metagamed.
And, well, not that you said it.
Now that I said it,
We're still
Now that I
not
called
sure
you
what
out.
to do.
I am going to draw my little dagger
I see her draw the dagger and realize I don't have mine.
And I'm gonna jump at him, so I imagine his legs, because he's tall, so I'm gonna go for like his legs, maybe like his calves, and try to like cut the back of one of them.
Wow.
Just so he can't like chase at us.
The back of one of them? So you're gonna like try and get around and...
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna need you to roll dexterity to see that you can make that jump.
Okay.
And do it.
No.
What did you get?
4.
A 4. So
Oh my
you go jumping at him and you actually end up tripping on to your face and the knife goes sliding
Oh.
and
Oh.
he looks down and looks back up and goes,
It's a distraction.
what's going on here? And
I tripped.
the door is still mostly closed. And the young man steps forward and goes, we were just trying to make sure that this area was cleaned up. There was a spill back here. One of the people was back here drinking too much, and these kobolds were helping. You can see, and he's got cake crumbles on his shirt. And he goes, you can see, I'm not doing so hot myself either. So, can you help me here? And the guard's looking all sorts of confused, and he goes, sure. Let me help you downstairs. And he puts an arm around the young man, and the young man kind of turns and gives a weird little wink over his shoulder and hobbles off. Now you have the door partially opened, and you're able to get in. The young man and guard are gone.
Oh, thank
God! The weird stumble attack just turned into a stumble that the guard just
Clumsy little
Wow.
kobold. That's all I did
let
was
go.
dodge. I grab my dagger, and then I
Your
go to the
dagger.
door to go upstairs.
I'm gonna go grab that cart and just nonchalantly wheel it back. And so just like, so it's in the corridor,
Yeah.
and I'll grab my
Yep.
stuff.
I also grab my pack.
Leave you over.
Yep.
And you
Then
see
I'll
me
follow up inside.
All right. As you all have gotten your pack settled and the nosy dog's asking for love over there.
Rubbing her for luck.
Oh yeah. Rub the pup for luck. Hopefully your dice will roll better. But you get back to the door and all 4 of you are able to heave the thing back together. It takes all 4 of your strength because this is a big wooden door. And it is a fortress you're going into. And you do hear a very, very faint sound of the captain giving a tour up the flight of stairs, which, as you look up, you guess it goes up 30, 40 feet before you're even to the main area.
Okay. I think we should try to quietly go up the stairs.
Yeah.
Agreed.
All right. I'm going to need each of you to roll either dexterity, stealth, sleight of hand, whichever your highest is, to ensure that your walk, crawl, climb, whatever is good.
I do stealth. I'm gonna use sleight of hand.
Mine are all the same, so I got a 13.
Okay, and
I got an 18.
18,
23.
23.
That's my highest.
I'm gonna quit using this dice in a minute. I got a 12.
A 12.
Oh, you did.
They're both the same.
You all make it up some of the stairs with a little bit of a stumble here and there, but very little sound is made. I need one more set of rolls to see that you can make it to the top without any more sound.
I'm gonna use one of my
Hopefully it's
dice.
good as last time.
That's
I
fine.
got literally the same thing, so I'm good.
Alright, 16.
16?
8.
8?
I got 23.
23? What were you rolling on?
I got a 17, but then I
No, what was your extra stat?
stealth.
Stealth? What was yours?
Dexterity, stealth, whatever. They're the same.
What was your total?
Oh, 13.
13.
The same.
Okay. So the 1 8 in the group, there's a little bit of a stumble walking up, and just as she was about to fall, because we have a very stealthy member, reaches out, grabs the shoulder, and catches the falling kobold.
Thank you.
A moment before a nice little tumble down the stairs could have happened. You are now the pasta party or the carb crew that
Yes.
your names do say. As you get to the top of the stairs, it is fairly quiet up top. It seems that there's less speaking in this tour, and you're able to peer over the last couple stairs, and you see the captain just kind of walking about, hands behind his back, just keeping an eye on the other two people up in the front of the area you're looking. Back behind you, there's some dusty shelving, and it looks like most of the work is being done straight ahead from the stairwell, and it's just more storage back around the back, but you do hear a chain rattle here and there, as if maybe there is a humming, breathing, moving weapon or item shaking in its container. But ahead of you, you do see a glass case with a bunch of chains down on top of this sword that keeps bouncing, and you hear a voice coming out of the glass case, screaming as if someone were holding him back, saying, "Let me free! Let me free! Let me free! I need to go on conquest! I need to slay!" And this blade is just bouncing, trying to get free. You don't see any facial features or anything on it, but you do note that it seems like the myths and legends of these sentient items, that's one of them. The guard kind of stays near it, as it is one of the more dangerous items up here. There's a few glowing, floating orbs across the small hallway that just hover in place with nothing above, below, or to the sides, and they just seem to be this decoration that, as light passes through them, almost different things are seen on the other side, different worlds or different parts of the world, as if looking glasses. And then right up at the front, there's a table of a handful of small artifacts that the two people on tour are looking at. And the guard barks, "Don't touch!" as they kind of reach out to touch some of these things. They're in an open case. You can't quite tell what these small artifacts are. And as you stand there, you do notice off to the sides there might be spots to tuck in. You might be able to kind of tuck back into the storage, but you have no idea what's back there, as there's a little half wall around the stairs to prevent things from falling down into the stairwell. What do you do?
I'd like to try to get into the little storage area.
Yeah, me too.
So on either side, just at the top of the stairs, there's just kind of a little cubby around some of the shelves that should be able to fit two on each side. And as you get up into some of the cubby, you do note that the guard is kind of waving the two people back down as they've taken a brief tour of all of the artifacts up here. The guard does pass you with the people passing by, and you hear whispers of, "Oh, did you hear that sword? I think it cursed. Whoa." They're just astounded by the fact that things are so sentient and that there's so much power up here. And they don't seem to understand magic as well as others, so it might be new to them. The guard starts speaking some spiel again about how these artifacts are incredibly dangerous and should never be talked about outside of the keep, and starts issuing warnings, and he kind of trails off as he goes down the stairs, and you hear the door start to open up downstairs as they're walking out. It's just you lot upstairs now.
Sweet.
We don't know how long we have,
So I'm gonna
because there's going to be another tour soon.
right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna run over to that case where they were looking.
The
Like
open
puzzle.
case?
Yeah, and see what's there.
You see a bunch of pendants and amulets and various other things that is almost overwhelming. There's at least 15 or 20 sitting in this case.
Are they all labeled?
No labels on any of them. They all have different shapes. Some of them are broken, some of them are very pristine, some of them are very worn and tattered.
Can I cast detect? Oh. I'm gonna have to say, I go, "Okay, PG-19, please let me detect magic," and then I try and see if I can.
As soon as you say, as soon as you call out to your patron and you detect magic, you see everything's glowing here. It's almost too bright for your eyes because everything is magical. Even some of the cases, as there has to be magical powers to hold some of these things in and to keep evil out, that it's just a bright spew of colors to your eyes.
But since I can tell the different types and stuff too, am I able to see is there one amulet that stands out in particular, or can I see if there's a certain kind of magic that's holding them down to the table?
You don't see that there's any magical restraints. You see that they're all grouped based on their magical properties, so similar colors in piles. but then you do see one that glows with a very distinct like black sparkle on it, almost as if like it's being very much tainted by an external power. And it's taken the shape of a wave.
Okay, so the wave one seems different than the rest.
Well, we're looking for something called Stormbringer's amulet. So.
You do see leaves and crosses, a few bent up metal shapes that you can't quite tell what they were. There's a sword. There's a bunch of different shapes in there as well.
In the little storage area, are there any boxes or?
There are a couple little leather pouches that look like they might have held something like 2 or 3 scrolls in them, or one of them could have been like a hammerhead or a few other little devices for like cleaning.
Oh, okay.
So nothing like big boxes of any sort, but more like smaller pouches that hold a few things.
Okay, so maybe are there anything that might have held some of the things that are on display now?
There is a couple sheaths, but they're well worn. As you look around, you see that if it could have been a sheathed weapon or in some harness, that either that harness is with it, or there's like some tatters of something sitting next to it in the case, as if they were trying to restore whatever the weapon and its power were.
Probably would have been a good idea to figure out what this thing looked like before we came up here.
Maybe.
Or we can take them all.
We do have the little pockets.
Okay.
All right.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff up
Right.
here.
So I'm gonna pull out my bag. I assume you're getting out yours.
But
and
we should be cautious because these are trapped.
Right, so maybe we can just tip the case and into like the bags. I don't think we should touch it with our hands. We don't know what they might do.
Does anybody have?
I have grabby arrows.
You want to use my grabby arrows?
I do have the remote control mage hand.
Yes!
I was skeptical. It's time to pull it out. Okay, so then I rummage through my pack because it's shoved at the very bottom, and I yank out this box with levers. And so in order to issue commands, the levers must be carefully moved, requiring a sleight of hand check at 12. Okay, so then I take it out, and then we
gotta choose
Yeah.
which one we want to try first.
Oh, that's true.
You go ahead.
Oh, okay. What's the amulet called one more time?
Stormbringer.
Stormbringer.
Yeah, Stormbringer's amulet.
Okay, so and you said there's one that looks like it has a wave on it.
Yeah, the wave one has like a different glow than the rest. It is more of like a black glow.
What does black mean?
I don't know. What does black glow mean? It just like it had external stuff to it.
Because detect magic, you know what school of magic it
Yeah,
comes from.
this one looks like it's got a couple different schools to it, but it is being tainted, meaning that the magic is also being almost like sucked from external sources. So it glows and sparkles, and then it like sucks into it and then comes back out. So it
So I
seems like
relay
it's
that.
at war with itself. Yeah, you relay that.
Oh, bring it.
That might be the first one we try
That's what I was
because it
thinking.
looks like it may be the one that we need.
Okay.
Okay, let's go. Okay.
Do it.
Sorry, Tank. I'm gonna have to put you there.
You know things get real when the DM,
And the dog has-
pulls out like a real notebook and pen. It's like, all right.
No,
Sounding
it's
serious.
just that my app got an update and it's not being friendly with tonight's battle, so I
Oh,
have to
no.
hand run it. So that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well. Okay. All right. Okay. Guys, let's hope it's not another 1 or 2 like it was earlier.
That's
13
good.
plus 6, 19.
19. So
Yeah.
you set the box down, you push the...
Requires. Yeah. Okay. So then, how many commands can I give it at a time? Do I have to roll every single time I want to give one command?
You have to roll for every major command. So if you want it to move, that's a command. If you want it to grab, That's another command.
Oh,
It's like
man.
the claw machine. Like
It's
you have to
basically-
go
it's
forward,
basically-
slow
it's
it
basically a
down,
claw
and
machine.
grab.
Okay.
So
Ah.
you push the button and you're able to tell it to move right now to where you
Okay.
want, and that succeeds.
All right, so then that hovers over the case above
This is very
Stormbringer, yeah.
Stormbringer, okay. The one that we assume is Stormbringer.
Right.
All right. So in order for it to roll... or
Right
to-
now it's Schrodinger Stormbringer because it both is and
And it
isn't.
isn't. Okay. So in order for the claw to move down... Ooh,
Woo!
nice. Okay, so then that's 23.
23.
Hey.
So it moves down, and it does a little wobble first, and then it goes straight down right onto the thing. And now, in order to grab it, you have to roll. This is a very,
Oh my
very
god.
mundane. Like,
Wait, so
it's-
to grab it, bring it back up, and to pull, that's 3 rolls.
3 more rolls.
Okay.
You don't have to pull it back
So-
to you. We'll just place the bag underneath it and you just drop
Oh,
it.
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, but it still has to let go.
You
Well,
just
yeah.
have to pick it up and then let go.
You still have
But
to pick it up
okay.
and bring it up and let go.
Alright, okay.
You're
But letting
playing a
go
claw
is
machine
easy.
right now. That's all you're doing. You're just
Okay.
helping with the claw.
13, 6, 19.
So you're able to
Okay, so
grab it,
grab it.
and grab tight.
Lift it up.
You okay,
She's fine.
Tinkerbell?
The dog's
She's
just
fine.
got a hairball off camera.
She's nervous for us.
Okay, alright, okay, it's now grabbed. It's not even up yet, though.
It's not
No.
even up
Okay.
yet, no.
Oh no,
It's an 8.
The hand zooms up into the air and drops the amulet, and it bounces off onto the floor.
Oh,
If you want to roll a
yeah. I
sleight
wanna
of
roll
hand to
this
see if you can catch it in the
Yeah.
bag.
Oh my gosh.
Come on.
Oh!
Nat 20.
You catch it squarely in the bag, and as you duck, because you nat 20 that, you duck as the hand swipes right where your head would be. It does swing at each of you as it comes back, because it failed and now is flailing wildly and going back to the contraption. So each of
Wait,
you,
what?
this hand.
Oh, the hand.
So it's
Hand.
you all-
Wait, can
you all,
I
like,
use
get
acrobatics to avoid it?
Yeah.
We
all get
you
slapped.
each may be able to
Okay, I'm gonna use...
make a dexterity save.
Yes,
Or
that's what I'm gonna
get
do.
slapped.
Yeah,
All right.
I'm gonna make a dex
Dexterity
save.
save,
I'm good at these.
Oh,
Heck yeah.
yes! Okay, I got
My
another
guy.
23.
25.
She got
Nice.
a nat 20.
I did.
Wow. So the hand comes swinging at each of you, and you're all
We got
ducking and
all
leaping
these-
over
Yes.
it, and like doing the Matrix move just as it
Yes.
flies right above. And you don't get hit by this wild and crazy mage hand that now sucks back into the little contraption on the floor.
Sweet.
Well, nothing seemed to have went off though when it like grabbed it. So I don't think there's anything in there that's like an alarm type trap system.
There might be no alarms, but what if each amulet has some sort of nefarious magic on it?
But I would
Is there-
see that, right?
Maybe.
With my detect magic.
You detect that there's magic. You can't see.
But I see the schools.
This one swirled with a bunch of them, as some of the other items did, as it has years of incantations and
Yeah.
usages. Like, some of these things are all schools or a handful of schools. Like, they're crazy
Well,
items.
And detect magic doesn't necessarily detect a curse.
Yeah.
And if we're not confident this is the one we need to find a more efficient way
Yeah.
to get a lot
Because
of
we don't
these.
have time for
Yeah.
this.
We don't know when the next tour's coming up.
Can I
so-
just
Take
go?
the bag and slide
Yeah.
it along.
Wait, doesn't one of you guys have gust?
Wait a minute. You have towels on you.
You have towels.
Oh yeah.
Are we all dumb? Like, just towel,
Well-
grab it.
How am I gonna get it in the towel?
Just
Just
use
use
the
the
towel.
towel
Just
around
use the
it.
towel as a
Like a glove
protective
or-
between
yeah.
you and the item, and then fop it in there.
Pop it in there.
Drop it in there. Okay.
I mean, I don't have my pack. Never mind.
Wait, I thought you had
Just-
your pack on you.
No, I don't. I left it downstairs because you guys used the cart. Does anybody have like some sort of stick, like a crowbar or hammer? We can just like.
I've got a crowbar.
I have arrows.
Just scoop them.
I can
have
do that.
my battle axe.
As
Alright.
you're all speaking about this, you hear the door slide open down the stairs.
Everybody scatter.
Yeah.
So-
Hi.
So I
Hide.
go back to the stairs.
Yeah.
Back to the storage place.
As you're all scurrying about, you hear the.
Wait, I cast silent image
Silent image.
to like make it look like the amulet in the spot.
Oh.
There
Good
you
call.
go.
Oh.
Okay.
Do you have to call out to your patron for that one?
Oh, yeah. Okay, so... Okay, Teenage make the silent image in the vision of the Stormbringer's amulet or whatever. Or the amulet I just took it. And so I put it...
It's only kind of like the Stormbringer, but not really.
You see an amulet appear wave-like in nature, not exactly the same as what you had, but close enough.
No one will know.
Which I used the name! Okay, sorry.
And as you're all starting to scatter, you hear the blade that was screaming out start bouncing again and yelling and calling out to each of you. Hey! Hey! Short things, let me out! Hey! Hey! You creatures! Hey! 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 And he's like yelling at all of you.
Somebody shut it up.
As this commotion goes on, and he was fairly silent until now, which the commotion of you all scattering alerted him of more presence.
Am I close enough to like whisper to him? To it?
There's a glass around it, so you might have to speak in full volume.
But there's
But
somebody coming up the
at
stairs.
this point, there's someone coming up the stairs.
I want to go.
You hear the guard going, or the captain going back into his spiel again, very similar to earlier.
Are there
I'm not gonna do
things
anything.
that I can hide in? Maybe?
There's a few barrels near the stairs, but one of them reeks like it contained dead things in it at one point,
Oh.
whether it was meats or dead creatures or something. The other one has a few blades sticking out of it.
I'm contemplating, okay?
Choices.
I could, because grabbing the blades and placing them in the other one would be too loud.
Right.
Takes time.
I hunt and skin
I don't-
animals for a living.
I don't think it'll bother you.
It probably won't bother me as much. It might bother y'all when I get out, but I'ma hide. So I get in the
You
barrel.
hop into the stinking barrel.
Ain't nobody looking in there.
Prestidigitation.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, there we go.
As you all are finding spots to hide, you each feel that you've barely made it just in time as the captain comes up the stairs and the blade is still yelling out, Hey, hey, you guys, oh, Captain, let me out, come on. And it's still yelling out and it's really trying to get attention, but it seems to have lost its idea that you would help it.
That's good.
The three people with the captain this time are now a bit nervous as they all walk up and they all back away from the blade a little bit. One of the people there is an older man and he kind of looks around and goes, I think I've fought with a blade like that years ago. Nothing to be afraid of as long as you don't touch it and let it consume your soul. And the two younger people seem like adult-ish, late teens, early 20s. The guy goes, I'd like to fight with that one time. Do you still have that, Grandpa? And the old man goes, No, I think I sold it off for something. I don't know what. But you wouldn't want to fight with it. It consumes your soul. And he lets out this like little chuckle, like maybe he's sending the kid on a wild goose chase of soul consumption thoughts. And the young woman goes, Grandpa, do we have to be up here very long? I know you've given a lot, but I don't want to be up here. It's scary. And the grandfather's like, it'll just be a few minutes. I wanted to look at some of the amulets. I heard there's a very, very dangerous one that's made it here. And he kind of hobbles over to the amulets, and the captain's like, don't touch. Whatever you do, don't touch. And he leans up against the case with the blade in it. And the blade bounces a little bit and then just kind of gives up very quickly. The two youngsters are staying near the center of the room looking around, and one of them catches sight of a couple towels on the floor.
Oh no.
The young man picks one up and goes, do the servants up here much? Because this looks like one of the towels from downstairs. And the guard walks over, picks it up. Oh, no, it must have been the last group, and quickly grabs them and
Must have been the wind.
sticks them behind in his belt, and he starts kind of looking around.
Oh no.
And peering about, doesn't see anything out of the ordinary at first. But as the tour continues with like the spiel that he's giving about certain things, you walk over to the case and the guard kind of leans in. Yes, this is the one I've been telling you about, and points off to the right side where you'd grab something from the left. Old man leans in. No, that's not as dangerous as you think it is, and that one seems off.
Investigation check.
Investigation
Are
check?
you looking at the one that I...
The old man is looking at them all and really taking them in.
You have to roll an investigation check on.
All right. It's an 18 on the die.
Shit.
So he leans in a little bit more and goes,
I know.
"Oh, yeah, that definitely seems off. Are you sure it's not ready to explode? Because he backs away and he kind of grabs the kids. And, all right, let's head back downstairs. If that's the one I think it is, they need to put it under locks, quick." And he hustles as much as he can down the stairs. The youngsters follow him. Pardon the dog. The dog sneezing off screen again. It's our Foley artist over there recording all of the sound, but wrong timing. We don't have sneezes yet. Are you trying to? Oh,
You're trying to give away our position.
One of the kobolds sneezes apparently. The guard starts looking around now that the group has gone down, and he's kind of peering in and behind things. He gets a little glimpse of some paws in the dust that lead off to some of the hiding spots, and starts moving towards one of the hiding spots right next to the barrel, and he's leaning around and peeks over and starts to think he catches sight of a kobold next to the stairs. At this point, he's grabbing his sword. You may, if you're close enough, he's near the stairs next to the barrel. If you're going back towards the stairs, or if you're coming up the stairs, it was to the right of the stairs. I can't recall who.
I went
ducked
to
in.
the stairs.
You went to the stairs? Okay, so it's probably you two that are closest.
Because I'm
How
in the
far
barrel.
away is the
You're in the
storage
barrel.
room?
So if I do something, would I have advantage or no?
You get a surprise attack if you wish, but then we'll go into an actual battle here. The storage areas were like just on either side of the stairs.
Okay.
They weren't anything too big either. They were just kind of like tucked around the corner.
Okay.
So you're all most likely within a few feet, but the ones who can get a surprise attack would be Gnocchi and why am I blanking on your characters? Macaroni.
Mac.
Mac.
Yeah.
Gnocchi and Macaroni. Surprise attack. Go for the gut.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw one of my pebbles at him.
You're gonna throw one of your pebbles at him. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna wait and see what happens.
All right. So you're throwing a magical pebble?
Yeah,
correct?
it's a imbued pebble.
All right, and you need to roll to hit against his AC.
It's not a pet rock, is it?
No, that's different. Okay. $10. But do I have advantage?
You have surprise, so you do have advantage. Yes.
So I can roll a second one.
Yep.
So that one is 12.
All right, that does not hit. It does whiz past him, and he turns and looks around the room and pulls his sword. And at this point, he believes he knows there's someone behind him, but he knows there's others in the room. So until you show yourself, you do have advantage on your attack, but he's gonna start ripping through things. So I do need you all to roll for initiative.
Okay.
And if he uncovers you, or if you attack on your turn, then that's when you actually really.
Oh, I got nat 20.
Nat
Hey.
20.
All right. What's my initiative again? Okay. Oh. Well, intentional
Goodbye.
rolls only, right? Okay, cool. It's a 21.
Okay. So, Mac is 21.
Fellini is 11.
11.
11.
Yoki's 11. Out of your dexterities, which one's higher?
Mine's a 2.
3.
All right.
Oh, mine is 19.
Peachy is 19.
Right, that's right.
Oh no, but
Oh.
she rolled a 20.
Oh, yeah.
But what's your plus? Plus that.
Oh, so
Yeah.
then I'm 24.
24. Oh, wow. Okay. 24. Perfect.
Broken obviously.
Oh, yours is different.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, and now I've got these here. Top of the turn order is Peachy.
Okay.
He does not know where you're at,
Okay.
but he is looking around very intently as if he's going to swing into things.
Okay. But I don't have an advantage, right?
You do have advantage as a surprise attack
Okay.
because he doesn't know your position yet.
Okay, so then I draw. Okay, I'm gonna sneak attack,
Mm-hmm.
which I had an advantage for. I get 1 extra roll, and I'm gonna use my daggers to do that, and I'm gonna finesse with dex.
Okay.
So. Okay.
And I'm going to quickly get you battle music because this is.
Okay.
Does that mean she gets to roll 3 times for her advantage?
You only get one.
Yeah,
Die
the
versus
one
range.
d6. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna attack with
Good
dex.
question.
So where's the 6? This one, right? No.
D6?
Yeah, this one.
It's a
It's
standard
the normal
cube.
one. Yep, that one.
Alright.
Okay, so I'm gonna wait. I have to roll twice though because I have to roll for the daggers.
If you roll for each dagger, you'll get advantage.
So that is 3 rolls for each dagger.
It'd be 2 rolls for each
2,
dagger.
Because you
Oh,
can
okay.
only have advantage once.
Yeah.
It's not
Okay.
double advantage.
Got it.
Correct.
So you'll roll twice for each dagger.
Okay. 15. 1.
So the 15 for the first dagger
Uh-huh.
plus whatever you were.
Plus to hit.
Plus 6.
Yeah, so plus 6, so that's 21.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got 7 on the second one. And then
But that one didn't matter. That was
Yeah,
just
that one
your
didn't matter.
damage. So now you can roll your second one.
okay.
Or do you want to resolve the damage on that one first?
We can resolve the damage on that one if you wish, yes.
Oh.
Because
So,
it does hit.
So now roll the damage because you had 2 daggers that you were doing.
So this is dagger 1. This is your main hand
Okay.
dagger.
So yeah, roll the damage on that one.
5.
Plus 4.
Yeah. So
Plus what is your sneak attack do?
1d6.
yeah, 1d6 extra damage.
So now
So-
you roll another one, yeah.
For this one or this one?
The d6.
So the dagger, and then she had
So
a
it's
plus 4 on
9. Yeah. So
Okay.
it's 9 plus
3.
3. So it's an 11. 12.
11, 12. 12 total. Okay.
Now roll this one twice.
Oh my goodness. 14. With plus 6. No.
Yeah, we'll
No,
just decide
no
which
plus
one's
on
higher.
the
Oh,
second
okay.
hand.
And then
so,
9.
So the first one's 14
Alright.
out of the 2.
So your first dagger hits, and you get. Where do you want it? Where were you stabbing at?
I am aiming for his legs.
So you're aiming for
I mean,
his legs.
He's human guard, right?
He's a human guard.
Yeah.
Yep. So you stab right into his thigh,
Okay.
and you swing out with the other one, but you miss as you weren't expecting to land so nicely into his leg the first time.
Got it.
You do see that he's got a
14.
chain mail chest, but he doesn't have any leg guards or anything else, so
Okay.
that's why you're able to sink in.
So to be clear, the 14 did not hit.
Yeah, if you want to find the armor class. Okay, let's see. So that was, now it's Mac.
That's me. Okay, so now I have advantage because he doesn't know where I am. Will I lose that if I place a hunter's mark on him because it's a vocal component?
He'll hear where you're at.
Okay.
And you'll have to have visual on him, so you have to pop your head out and say something.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just gonna shoot out of the barrel because I have wings. I'm just gonna pop up in the air,
Alright.
and
So, ladies and gentlemen, this is a group of kobolds fighting a human right now.
yeah,
So,
just pop goes the kobold, and I'm going to fire an arrow at this guy.
all right, you get advantage So feel free to fire away.
Okay. Okay.
Also, does the smell of death do anything to him, to his senses?
No.
Since she's in the barrel?
He's
He was in the
walked
barrel?
past the barrel a
Okay.
bit, so he knows of the stench.
1d4 of nasal damage.
1d4.
A little necrotic damage.
Just a little bit.
Okay, so that's... Sorry, what is this to hit? Even. Sorry. I just add my dex to my to hit, right? Because I'm...
Yeah, I believe it's for your bow. For your
Yeah.
plus, it's
I think.
dex for that one.
Yeah, okay, so I'm 18 to hit.
18. You fire the arrow, and you see that it gets lodged where? Where are you aiming?
I'm just square in the chest.
Square in the chest. So it's a little off and hits right into the shoulder,
Mhm.
but it does sink in. And what is your damage?
Alright, my damage. Let me tell you my damage. Oh, cool. Okay, cool. My damage is 13.
Wow.
Yeah, because I get
Pretty
pluses for things and stuff.
All right. So you lodge that arrow square into his shoulder,
Yeah.
and you see him kind of tilt back a little bit. You've done some good damage there.
And as a
Uh,
bonus action,
a
now
bonus
that
action,
now that
alright.
I've given myself away,
there you go.
I'm gonna say, there's more where that came from, and Hunter's Mark
Well, there
is
you go.
cast upon him.
There we go. So he's marked. Cool. Fellini's turn.
I'm gonna stay hidden.
You're gonna stay hidden? Nothing?
Nothing.
All right. Gnocchi.
So would this count as him having been attacked since my last turn?
Yes, it would.
So I have advantage.
Yes, as kobolds, you all have that.
Oh, that's right.
As
So-
horde one.
As horde ones, you said?
I don't know if it's horde or racial.
I believe it's
It's opportunism.
racial
Yeah.
opportunism. So it's a racial skill that
Oh, wait,
you
I
all
wrote that down.
have.
So we get advantage every time.
Basically,
Yeah.
as long as you're all attacking.
You have advantage on an attack roll against a creature if it has been attacked by another creature since the end of your last turn.
Yep.
Yep.
So this whole round is just advantage.
Yeah, this whole fight's gonna be advantage.
So as long as we keep hitting.
So
Yeah.
I guess I'll go for stone number 2.
Stone number 2, cool.
Let's see. It's a 9. That's a 10 plus, I believe, a 5. So it's a 15.
15. Miss.
Are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
No, you're lying.
Mm-mm.
What is he wearing? Plate mail?
Oh, he's
Oh,
wearing
you're doing
chainmail.
chainmail. Yeah.
Oh.
Goes to books, finds the number 1 followed by number 6.
Damn.
So that one just bounces off his shoulder. You realize you're
I have a
super
page tab,
close. 16.
I want to see what those stones do. You better
I
hit.
know.
I'm
I'm
curious.
dying.
And now it's the guard's turn. And he's
Just
got...
do a d6 and bludgeoning.
Oh, okay.
Who is hanging off of his leg? It's Peachy, who's
Yep.
jumped out and stabbed into his leg. So
Little
he's...
lizard.
So he's going to just try to hit you with the butt of his sword because he's not going to be able to,
Hanging
like,
into his
Oh,
side.
swipe down
Not the butt.
the butt of the sword.
Touched the butt.
Alright, so... 12. I don't think that beats your armor class, does it?
No.
It doesn't even tie your armor
Mm-mm.
class. Perfect. So he swings down at you and misses as you're like moving about trying to just stab into his leg. You've got this little dagger and you're like, "Ah," and he's just freaking out like what to do now that he's being attacked by these kobolds. And there's 4 of them, which he knows in his time that this is a definite outnumbering, even at your stature, that he cannot keep up with 4 of them.
There's at least 4 of
He
us.
only knows there's 3.
He only
so-
knows
there's
that's
three.
right.
Oh,
That's
yeah, he
right.
only
That's
knows
right.
3. So he sees 3, and he's still fairly nervous about it. So that was the guard's turn. We're back up to Peachy's turn. And I will also say, too, just as a reminder, you still have some hit points on this guy. You can call out if you want it to be lethal or non-lethal damage, in case you believe this is going to finish someone off, but you don't want to get a kill. As a teaching moment, it is great if you want to like get information out of people, or if you don't really want to kill a guard, or if you want to kill him elsewhere, like if you just want to roll him down the stairs and let him finish himself off that way, whatever. But
It might be a good idea to keep him alive just because we don't know exactly what we're looking for.
Yeah.
But also teaching moment,
Mhm.
I can't call out non-lethal because I have ranged weapons.
oh yeah,
And you can't do that.
yep.
It's good to-
Okay.
Yep.
So,
So
for those
for,
of you at
for
home.
those of you stabbing the person, you can say,
You can do that
"I'll
later.
stab a little less hard than last time." But it is your turn, PG.
Is he wearing a helmet?
He has an ornate
Is
I
it
know
just
headpiece,
follow.
but it's not like a full mask helmet. No.
Okay. No, I don't have that ability because I am a rogue.
Yeah, that's right. I remembered that.
Okay, I'm. Oh my goodness. Okay. I am gonna try to grapple his neck to at least bring him to the ground
Okay.
using acrobatics.
Okay.
So, swinging around and then trying to grapple his neck and to bring him down. I know I don't have much weight, but I'm hoping that.
Use his weight against
Yeah, exactly.
him. There you go.
So
Tiny,
I will let
but
you
fierce.
run a.
Dex check for acrobatics.
Yeah, I'll let you do a dex check on this one instead of a strength.
Because it's mostly acrobatics what I'm trying to do, right?
I mean, yeah.
Listen, swinging around. And,
Hey, man.
Because I'm hanging him from the front.
Yeah.
Presume. Yeah. Okay. Ooh. Okay, that's 26.
Yeah, you. Beat,
It was a nat 20.
You
Yeah,
beat,
it was
But
a nat
let's be
20.
clear.
You beat his grapple, big time. So you jump up, you get around his neck, and not only do you like pull him down, but you knock him flat on his back.
Yes.
And because it was a nat 20, you have knocked the wind out of him, and you've landed right next to him, and he's laying there gasping for a second, and like looking around wide-eyed, and you see that he's kind of looking around the room. You've dazed him a bit, so he is both prone, and he's at disadvantage right now because he's dazed.
Okay.
So you have this guy down.
So
Okay.
he's at disadvantage and we're at advantage.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
So that's the end of my turn.
that's the end of your turn.
Yep.
Mac.
Whoa. I'm gonna fire another one. That was awesome.
You're like, he's just laying
She's
down
not
now.
I have
He's
advantage.
not up.
Go for it.
All right, cool. So
Wait, are you gonna? Where are you aiming for?
You don't.
His face.
I mean,
Okay.
Anywhere.
his. I don't know.
His pride.
Yeah, I'm aiming for his pride. That was a 15. So, so 19 to hit. Hits.
Hits.
So, this. He might die.
Uh-oh.
You might die. Whoops.
That's 15 damage.
15 damage.
Oh my god.
He didn't die.
That's.
You do fire an arrow and it goes right through his shoulder and you hear it like hit the wood below as you hit like all flesh, and so you've kind of like locked this guy
Okay.
down, and he lets out a cough, a little bit of blood in the cough, and
So he's bloodied?
he's more than bloodied at this point. He tosses his sword off to the side, and like you can see that he's just in pain, and he like reaches out to grab the arrow. Fellini, it's your turn.
So
You're
we
hearing
have
a
this
massacre.
guy on the floor.
You have him nailed to the floor.
Basically.
He's on the floor.
Yeah.
What about there were 3 tour people?
They
went
had gone down
downstairs.
the stairs.
Okay,
because,
so it was just him upstairs.
Yeah, it was just him down the stairs. They had gone down prior to the battle because they were a bit nervous of the amulet.
Okay, so hearing that he's on the floor, I'd like to sneak out and try to grab another amulet.
Alright. You're just gonna sneak out and grab an amulet in the battle. Alright, I'll let you do that for your action. How do you wish to grab the amulet? And what one do you want to grab?
I would like to take the apron off
Alright.
and use that on my hand
Alright.
to try to grab one.
So there's
That's it. That's fully intact. That looks nice.
All right. So the fully intact ones, there is a cross, there's a sword, and then there is just a fist shape.
Fist.
Fist. All right. So you grab the fist, and as you pick it up, you feel a hum of power in your hand, and you kind of see everything else hum and shake in the case just a little bit, and it doesn't do anything. It doesn't try to escape, but you just feel that there's power in this amulet.
Okay. Can I put it in my bag?
You can put it in your bag. All right. There's your turn. So someone's off thieving things, and Yoki, it's your turn.
Seeing that they have him pinned and that she just took one, I'm gonna go over and I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna use my dagger to scoop one up.
Yeah.
You're not even finishing the battle. You're just like, whatever. Okay.
He's pinned
I'm
to
in it
the
for the money.
ground.
All right. So which one are you scooping up?
Which ones are? I imagine if I'm remembering correctly, I'm at the right end of the case.
I can't say anything.
I mean,
it's not my turn.
there's like a sword and
I'm
a
dying.
cross that are still together. But there's pieces of something that once looked like it might have been a diamond shape.
Pieces of one that was a diamond shape, but there's a full one that is a
There's
sword.
a cross and a sword. Yes.
I'll take the sword one.
All right. So you scoop up the sword one, and you feel a hum and a buzz down your blade, and it kind of wobbles and almost hovers just above your blade as it stops wobbling, but it follows your blade's command as if it's sitting directly on.
I'm gonna put it in the pouch with my pet rocks.
All right. With your pet rocks and a blade amulet. All right, that's it.
Well, that's all I can do.
All right, perfect.
That's my action.
It is now the guard's turn.
Oh, I can say something though, right?
You can.
So I'm like, somebody say something.
You're just like.
I'm gonna ask him, what do you know about the Stormbringer's amulet?
He's laying there. If it's the Stormbringer you're after, it's the most dangerous of them all. If it gets out of this building and into the wrong hands, it could bring down entire islands. And he's coughing up a little bit of blood. It's his turn now. So he'll continue the conversation. And he like snaps the arrow and winces and sits up, and he like puts his hands up and goes, I surrender. If I don't know why you're after the amulet, but it's full of great power and it's incredibly dangerous. And he grabs his shoulder. He goes, I'm not trying anything. I'm just in a lot of pain. And he looks down at the lizard that's still hanging off of his knee at this point, like ready to stab again. He goes, I promise. I'm just in so much pain what you did to me. If you could send help, I'll let you free. I don't want to die. I have a family. And he looks around, and that's his turn. It's up to Peachy's turn. You may.
How his action was sitting up.
Hey, this guy is
he's
near
bleeding
dead.
now.
I know, it
So-
just is funny.
This guy is near dead.
Well,
If you want to know how near dead he is, he's near dead.
But he's
dead
not.
yet.
I feel better.
I feel happy.
I can go for a walk.
Sorry. I love that. That's great.
Okay.
For those of you who missed it, Monty Python and the Holy Grail,
Yeah.
very good film. Go rewatch it
Yeah.
this weekend.
Yeah.
Okay. I
Stab.
Ask him which one it is.
But he's almost. Hold on.
Are you gonna kill him or let him live?
I'm gonna kill him because I don't want him to shout.
Spoken like a true rogue.
There it is.
I don't want him to shout and call out for help if there's a Tor nearby, because there is that risk that we do run, and I don't want that to happen. So I am going to slash him across the throat.
Right. Roll.
Should I roll?
Yes.
Yeah.
Roll the
Both
hit.
of you.
Roll the hit.
Okay. What am
You
I?
have advantage.
You have advantage.
Yes. Would I use? But would I be using strength for that, or would I be using for?
You're just attacking.
Oh, just attacking.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But you get a second one.
Okay.
So,
Oh, that's a 7.
plus your attack modifier.
Oh,
so
plus
it's a
6.
13.
13. So you slice out and you graze his throat, and you see him lean back, and he feels like it's a warning shot.
Okay.
Like, you're not going to give in. Mac, it's your turn.
All right.
Oh boy.
So he said, let me go and I'll let you free.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
He said send help.
Yeah. So I'm going to line up a shot point blank. Well, not point blank, because I don't want disadvantage. I have advantage. Whatever.
I have
Couple
advantage.
feet away.
Yeah. You zoom into his eye.
I land like, so I'm a little bit closer in front
Alright.
of him. And I say, tell us which one is Stormbringer. Which one is the Stormbringer's amulet?
He kind of grins a little bit at you. You don't know what you're after? Oh, man. Oh.
We take Stormbringer, we take it all. My hand's slipping, buddy.
Well, good luck with the rest of them. And he sits up and closes his eyes.
And I release and I go, damn.
Roll to hit as you shoot one of the others.
Alright, hold on. Shit. I missed the shot. I shoot past him.
You get too dramatic with it, and you're like, oh, and you look away, and it just fires past.
I did it on purpose.
And it crashes through the one small window at the end. And
Oh no.
That's a
you
good
hear
thing.
you hear a little bit of glass tingle down onto the
Well,
road.
that could be a bad thing.
Could be, but. How high up are we at this point?
that's
On your best guess, 50 to 60 feet.
Perfect. Okay.
Perfect. Fellini.
What did you just do?
As the arrow whizzed over her head, and she's got an
All right.
amulet that she's
Well,
placing in her bag.
If we want to go now, my pet rocks, I'll tell you, they don't move until I tell them to. Like, they literally cannot move. So if you've got rope on you, we can get out of here, like, now.
Sure, yeah.
Says the winged one.
Yeah. I mean, I have rope.
But can we fit through there? Aren't these windows barred?
Well, it
Not
was
the ones up
stained
here.
glass.
Why would the ones up here be
He
barred?
said they were either barred or stained glass, but it's shattered.
This one's a small glass window that if you broke through it, yes, you all could fit through it.
Yeah, alright. Well, I think we have what we came for. Do we want to finish this guy off?
I quick grab a couple other amulets and dump them in the bag.
Not your turn. It's Fellini's.
Oh,
still.
I didn't know we were still in
You're still in battle.
Oh, we are?
The guy is not dead or
Well, then I should.
unconscious.
Then I didn't say anything that I just said.
I'll let the words go out, but that's it. Any further planning or motion is on your turn.
I
Fellini.
didn't realize you were
Cool.
still in.
Alright, I'm gonna start heading toward the window.
All right, cool. I'll allow that interaction to have happened because you're both like just rummaging through the things and picking them up, and you're like, as the battle's going on behind you. Do you want to add anything towards your turn now, Gnocchi? Miss Fellini's heading towards the window. She's clambering up around all of the
Well, we've
artifacts.
committed to that, and I only have one action, so I guess I have to.
You're gonna
do those
climber
and
up there
just
with
go
her?
over, and I have to. Well, I need rope from someone, so I can't do really anything. I guess I can put one of my rocks down.
All right. So now you have this little post.
So I
on the
put it
window.
down and I go, kick it.
What?
Kick the rock. turn.
Right.
Oh crap.
It's the guard's
They
turn,
didn't blame me, I
and
didn't
he's
know.
he's kind of looking around, having been sliced at, and have an arrow fly over his head. He's just like unsure if he's getting warning shots left and right, or if he's surviving somehow, and looks around and still bleeding everywhere. And he starts to like ease his way upright to his feet and tries to knock Peachy off of his leg, and that's his turn.
If he's more than bloodied, would he have the strength to do that?
He's in his last bit of life. He's
That's
got
what I'm saying,
adrenaline
would he-
kicking through.
Okay.
Like
I'll
if
allow
you're
it.
going out,
Okay.
he's trying to do anything he can.
Mhm.
He's
Okay.
got adrenaline kicking right now. He feels good. Peachy, it's your turn.
So can I roll for acrobatics to avoid his kick? Would
He's not kicking. He's just
Oh.
like trying to
Oh, okay.
knock you off just
Got
by
it.
standing up and like a cat on a lap, like trying to slide them off.
Okay. Well then, I ignore that.
Stab.
I ignore that, and I'm gonna take the rope out of my bag and loop it around. Do these rocks have names?
Yeah, we'll say Dwayne
Oh.
is the one I set down.
Dwayne.
Okay.
They are
Dwayne has
names.
been
So
set.
I wrap the rope around Dwayne. It's only 50 feet though, and I do let everyone else know for non-winged kobolds, which is 3 of us. Yeah, and since I've wrapped the rope around the rock, I'm the one that goes down first. So
All right, so you've used your turn to disengage and get out of
Yep.
there. All right.
I'm getting out of there.
Mac, it's your turn. This man is starting to stand up and looking like he's heading towards the stairs.
I want to try to fire another shot. I don't
Do
want
it.
him to get away.
You have wings.
Yeah.
Do I have advantage still or no?
You do, because he was sliced at since your last turn.
Okay. 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 So
Nobody attacked him.
18 to hit.
None of us attacked
Yeah.
Oh.
him since she shot at him.
Yeah.
Her
So
bigger
sh-
number was first anyways, but
Yeah, the bigger
18
number was first.
18 to
Okay.
hit?
Yeah.
Hits.
Fine.
So he's started to hobble towards the stairs, and you
He
lodge
did.
a very nice...
He did.
18 pointed shot at him.
Yeah. Square right between his shoulders.
So
And
he walks past me.
he was like trying to hobble past down to the stairs, trying to get help.
I
So-
let him walk past, and I just right to the back of the head.
right to the back of the head. You see it hit, and his helmet falls off, and it starts toppling down the stairs, and then he just falls, and you hear thuds down the stairs.
No one probably heard that. Let's go.
No one heard that.
We're fine.
You see how thick those doors
you're-
are? No one heard that.
You're all out of battle and able to now make it through the windows.
So
So she
we
said
grabbed the
she's-
evilest looking stone
Plus some.
amulet.
Yeah.
Plus
Plus-
some.
Great, let's go.
Wait, there was one more full one, right?
No.
Because
think-
I grabbed the
Oh,
sword one.
Yes,
Sword
there was
one
a
and the-
there's a cross one left over.
Okay,
Okay.
so I'll
Grab the
quick
cross one.
because I know she's climbing down the rope, so I'll go quick grab the cross one, drop it in the bag, and then
Drop it in which bag?
the one with Stormbringer.
The one that's connected to mine,
Yeah.
Yeah, the connected
Oh.
one.
the pocket dimension one.
All right. So you drop it in there, and as you drop it in, they violently shake.
Okay,
and collide
I'm
with
gonna
one
quick
another.
take the cross one back out.
Yep.
And I'll put it. So I have one with Steve. So I'll put the one in the other pouch.
So you've kept them separate.
Yeah.
All right, perfect. Steve just has a nice blade with him. All right. Cool. And you're able to now rappel down if
Yeah.
someone had tied a rope.
Yeah, she
I
did.
did.
Right.
I did.
She tied the rope.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So we
And I
rappelled
start going down first.
All right.
Yeah.
And it's dark out, right?
Wait,
It
you
is
took
now
Dwayne
dark
with
out.
you.
Yeah.
Cool.
No,
No,
Dwayne
Dwayne's
is
still up there.
No, I set Dwayne. When
Yeah.
I set him down, it doesn't move. So Dwayne
they
is set
tied-
on the edge of the window,
So
and
you
she
were
tied
telling
the
me to
rope.
kick him and
Yeah.
he wouldn't move?
Yeah.
To test him
I was
out.
like, see, check it, kick it.
Jerks.
You would have broke your
She
toe.
wanted to, break your foot.
Like Mjolnir, just not moving.
Takes 2 points of damage. Falls from window. Sounds like a kobold's death.
More money for us.
So now that you have all made it down to the street level, there's a little bit of commotion around the front. You hear some metal boots clanging about, and it sounds like there's groups of armed guards running about the keep on the outside. It does seem like in your climb down that Death was found and yelled out for more guards to protect the keep. So, you're kicked down the stairs, made enough noise, blood everywhere. Yeah.
Well, that could have gone better, but
All right,
Could've.
we should
run.
So you're in the center of the city now. There have been a few notes that were given to you early on from your scouts. Each of you might have a way out, and it's 2 different areas of the city.
I don't have anything.
Was it in the note we got way
It was in
earlier?
it was in the little note you each got. One of you has secured some passage with large winged owls. Another has secured some passage on a ship.
Oh yeah, mine's on a boat. So
Mine's with the owls, but it's outside the city, so we gotta run if we want to get there.
well, I've got to head eastish to the docks.
But one of you has the amulet.
We don't know who though.
You don't know who, so if you want to split up and see who gets the gold, you may. Otherwise, you might want to stick together.
What do you mean we don't know who?
Well, it's a pocket dimension that after it gets...
Oh, but you 2 have it.
But
Yeah.
if we split up,
we split
we
up...
can only open one bag, and we don't know which one
Yeah.
Mhm.
because it's random. So
We could split
I
and
have
then meet
some-
where we... Because we met 30 miles or whatever outside the city.
Your goal is 30 miles north.
Yeah, so we could split, but...
Uh-oh. Says the one that's lawful evil over here?
No, let's just pick a direction and go.
Well,
Guards
I have some
are-
contacts in the city that the
Whatever's closest, because we gotta
yeah,
go.
it's north. It's so if a couple of people were bribed to keep an eye out and on any guards chasing kobolds in the city this evening. So, and they can drop clothes, water, and other things. So we can head up north. That's already the direction that we're going in. So
Yeah.
I guess that works.
To the north of the city, there's homes, and you scurry through the streets and push through some carts, and there are guards you hear coming up behind you as there's more commotion that you've caused. As you get into the homes and running down the streets, you hear a young boy whistle out, and a few windows open up, and a few children are in each window, one with a bucket, one with some clothes each, and they start throwing clothes and dumping buckets of water down on the guards, and the guards start tripping up and are pulling off wet clothes from...
In the
Really
commotion
quick.
of throwing off the clothes, I want to ditch the server clothes that I was wearing.
Really quick,
All right.
major shout out. We just got rated by
Hey!
Geeks of Glory. And it says,
Hey,
it's the
hey.
year of geeks, we bring the hype. So they're
Wow.
joining us tonight
Thanks, guys.
for the...
Welcome,
More heights.
Geeks of Glory group. We are in a chase out of the city currently. Our players are kobolds, having stolen a wonderful, expensive, and dangerous amulet, and they're trying to secure passage north of this city, or at least survive.
Yeah.
But yeah, they've entered the homes, the slightly
Residential.
The residential
the
district.
residential district, the slightly more like apartment-like living, multi-tenant
Very-
homes. A bunch of the kids are throwing water and clothes down at the guards because they were bribed earlier to do so if there were kobolds being chased through the city tonight.
Yeah.
The guards are tripping up, and the kids quickly run out of things to throw, and so you see a few of them run out through the streets and try and trip a few more guards up. You had a tail of about 7 or 8 guards. There's only one now that is still following you through. You're in the northern part of the city, and I believe the docks are to your east.
To the south. Yeah, there.
how
Yeah.
far are we from the stash?
We're getting farther and farther away from my escape route, so
Yeah.
we're definitely committing to one of yours at this point.
Well, we're passing the docks.
You
so.
have probably just passed the stash and
Oh, okay.
have gone a little bit into the homes.
Got it.
more.
Okay.
You're leading us at this point.
Okay.
Yeah.
The players also do have a map that is in our Discord that was uploaded earlier this week. If you want to follow along, Discord is below. They just went north from the big red mark and are trying to find a way out of the city.
Okay, so if we've passed the stash, then I am going to...
Towards the wall.
Yeah,
How tall is the wall?
yeah, how tall is the wall,
The
actually?
wall is about 25-30 feet up. It does have a walk path on it as guards have been patrolling in the evening now.
Okay, so then
Oh, there's guards.
There's openings here in
there's
the main
openings.
street.
Yeah.
openings, but if they're looking high above, they're gonna see us.
We should just duck over to the docks and get on the boat that I've got secured.
Yes.
Okay.
So then...
So we head east to
head
the
east.
docks.
All right, as you head east to the
Sharp
docks,
right.
you did take a moment to slow down and figure out where you were going, and we're pointing all over. The guard does get a bit closer to you, not within reach, but he's only about 20, 25 feet behind you. As you get towards the docks, it opens up a bit more. What would you like to do at this point? The docks are about 50, 60 feet out. The guard is closing slowly at about 25 feet out.
So are we still like in an area where there's like a bunch of streets around us?
There's still a bunch of streets, but they're opening up very quickly. So within 20, 25 feet, you're going to be in an open stretch of dock front.
Is he classified as like a medium or a small?
Medium.
Medium? Okay. Can I quick cast Gust?
Sure. Just quick cast Gust.
Yeah.
What are you doing with Gust?
Casting it at the guy to push him back.
One medium or small creature must succeed a strength saving throw, or be pushed back 5 feet. All right. 8.
That does not save.
So you turn around and a gust of wind hits this guy in the chest and he slides backwards a bit, comes to a stop, but you're all able to move forward. So his 5 feet back and the time it took him to get his footing, he's now about 45 feet behind you as you burst out into the dock fronts.
So right as we're getting to like the edge of like all the streets and stuff to where it opens up,
Yep.
I would love to
Do
cast
it,
fog
do it.
cloud
Yeah.
right behind us.
Thank you.
Just behind you. Perfect.
So by the time he comes through, he has to look around because he has no idea where he went.
All right, perfect.
Nice.
So you cast that right at the opening as you clear where it would cover. Perfect.
Yes.
And you do that, and you realize that you might be safe, but you need to find the vessel that is your
The
chartered.
Festa. We need the Festa.
All right.
There's 4 large boats, each with their names on them. The Festa is the furthest one out.
Of course it is.
It is. DM has to give you a little bit of a push. And as you notice that it's the furthest one out, you do see a couple guards come running past you to the fog cloud, trying to figure out what's going on because you all slowed down a bit more and caused a little less reaction. And you hear shouting in the fog cloud, but you don't have time to dawdle.
We don't have time to care. We're running.
We're in a rush.
Yeah. So the Vesta.
Are we on the boat?
You get down to